Showtime! Formal Friday. Starting like I mean to go on. Alrighty. One of my milk clarified cocktails. This was rum based from memory. I think so many of these kind of forget. It's like, oh, that's good. I think it's called Under Broken Ground or something. Just an interesting sounding recipe that I found. And one of the reasons I sought it out is because it didn't have citrus. I've mentioned this before. Citrus tends to give Mrs. Angry heartburn. And so I have to try and find more cocktails that don't have citrus in them. And that one's called Beneath Broken Earth. It's rum, orange liqueur, blackberry liqueur, and grenadine. I have to make some more grenadine. I've used up all my grenadine. Will I bother to make a video? Probably not. Yes, so I'm probably going to test, not probably, I'm going to test some new cocktail recipes. Some I'm literally just going to make up. And if they pass muster, they'll be on the official date night cocktail menu tomorrow night. Yes, so make the most of being at home with date night. Oh my God, look who's here. Look who it is.
Hello, peeps.
Hey,
Hello,
buddy.
people. Hello to you. Hello to you, Angry.
Hello to you, buddy.
This is very odd because I'm looking at the side of my computer device. Of my device. I can't even say computer. I've got to say device.
Yeah.
I'm not looking directly at the rim of my device.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre because that's where the pinhole camera is. The pinhole camera is so small, I can't see it, even with glasses on.
Yeah.
Boss of the house could see it, but he said, "Oh my God, that's small." And I'm thinking, that is so small, you could hide that literally anywhere and get a very good view of the house. Now, this is domestic technology.
Yeah.
Imagine what the fucking military is going.
Yes. You couple
Does that
with
not frighten you?
Oh yeah. You couple how easy it is to hide tiny high def cameras, and if you want to get spooked out, find a YouTube video. I think you can find it just by searching super long zoom, and there are lenses, again, commercial products that can zoom for kilometers. Basically, you can be pointing at someone who's a couple of kilometers away and zoom right in so you can see them. It's really quite spooky. So who's here? Yes, I have had a haircut, Catherine, and I killed Kenny, Luke. You're correct. It's Big Bad Ads, you bastard. Yes, so it's haircut day. Hi, Invisible Chicken. And AZ gets a little bit sorted there. He is clearly joining us this even, but hospital being what it is, he's going to have a couple of distractions from time to time. And I'm all kitted out for... oh, you son of thing! Oh, no. Is it?
I'm having tech trouble with tech that I'm not supposed to have.
I see.
So I can't get... Will you plug this in for me?
Right, yes.
Because I'm strictly not supposed to have it in the hospital per se. And I've gotten away with, no, they're not on. I'm just maintaining them. You know, like guns.
Yes.
Have to be oiled and lubed.
Yes.
These have to be checked and maintained. And while I'm in the hospital and not smoking them, I have to make sure that they're in good working order.
Yeah.
I am a lying motherfucker. I just worked that out today that I'm such a lying piece of shit
Yeah.
that I will scheme and push. Someone's losing their mind down the corridor, by the way. You probably can't hear it. But
No.
the trouble is all I can think is that's great because I'm no longer under supervision.
Oh, because there's someone out of control up the hall. Yeah.
What kind of fucking person thinks like that?
Well,
That's what happened when I was in hospital with the big nasty pointy gangrene and I cut myself out of my tubes and I fell down the K-hole and I woke up as soon as the nurse left and the ketamine brain said, you have exactly 19 minutes to cut yourself out of all these tubes and go and get water. And I was like a passenger inside my own mind going, should we be doing this?
Yeah.
And my brain turned around to my brain and said, well, you've had 12 hours, buddy, and there's been no fucking water. So it's fucking our turn. And our turn ended up being a very messy, nasty thing.
Yes. You trailing fluids all over the hospital. Apparently, Luke, the hospital Wi-Fi is good enough for AZ to stream. So that is good.
That is just unbelievable. The hospital Wi-Fi is good enough for me to stream. What the fuck? Because hospital Wi-Fi is notoriously shit.
Yeah.
As is my motor skills. You've heard me drop this broken, very broken.
That one's very broken. Yeah.
That is very. I've just had a brilliant idea. Rather than leaning down, trying to put the small end into the small slot, I can take the big USB out of the easy slot and do it easily up here at waist height. And then I'm a fuckwit, is what I'm trying to say. I should have strategized this so much earlier. And I've got to get somehow. I've got on my right-hand panel, you're in the show, everyone can see and hear you. Well, I've been naked many times and had that message in my head.
Yeah.
And Angry knows because he was there.
Oh, yeah.
Angry knows the shape of my cock better than I do, and that's a problem. Because men, when they stare at their cocks, are looking at it from top down, which is why they constantly say my cock is small. When in fact, when you're looking at it front on, it's a lot longer. The other thing about getting naked on stage, and I had Daniel Radcliffe agrees with me because I saw an interview about this. His friends were asking him, you know, when he was doing Equus, he has to do a naked scene. And they said to him, don't you worry about, you know, when you go on stage that you get, you know, a boner. And he says, oh, God, please. The moment you go on stage, your cock just fucking hides inside you. And you go, come on, that's not right. No, that's not right. No, it's bigger than that. Everybody, look, it's cold. And I had exactly the same experience, to the point where I had my onstage partner give me 4 seconds to grab my member and pull it slightly so it wouldn't shrink inside myself. And on several nights, he forgot to give me that timing, and I was fucking furious at his word. He was here tonight, and so I showed him love. He comes a lot. When I go in hospital, he comes a lot to see me. He's really nice. And somebody else came to see me too, and let me talk for about 2 hours. I feel a bit ashamed about that because I wanted to know all about his life. Also, I want Ms. Angry to do the opening of the Secret Squirrels, viewers. Where have we greenlit this? Have we greenlit the show?
Sorry, who are you asking
You know
that
the
to?
show that I pitched today?
Oh, okay.
Have we greenlit it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, viewers, there's going to be a virtual radio serial that I and Angry make for your entertainment coming on this live stream. And I would like Ms. Angry to say the rhyme at the beginning of the. It'll be radio style, so no one will see her. And what we'll do is we'll modify her voice so that it comes down to childlike, and
Yeah.
that will be even more fucking creepy.
Yes, it's kind of like if you remember the old Nightmare on Elm Street movies, that because Freddie had gone into folklore, it was a skipping song for kids, and it was really creepy. We're thinking, 1, 2, Freddie's coming for you.
Very
3,
much.
4, better lock your door. And when it's little kids' voices doing that, it's weird. Like recently, we were talking about Lizzie Borden because it was the anniversary of the murders of Lizzie Borden's dad and stepmother.
She was fucked up.
Yep, she was also
Naked.
found not guilty, but she was clearly a weirdly traumatized person.
I did not know that. Was
No,
she
we
the
looked
one
it
that
up. It was the
was
anniversary.
she
She
the
got
one
off.
that got naked and axe murdered everyone so that she could just shower and
You
no.
remember the same movie as me with Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched playing Lizzie Borden. And that was their theory as to how she fucking axe murdered
How
her
she got away with
parents
it.
and wasn't spattered in blood because she was naked when she did it and then just rinsed all the blood off and put clothes on. But yeah, because
Then she
it was
had
the
to shower.
anniversary
Yeah.
recently, we're looking up the story and she was found not guilty, but she never moved town. She was ostracized by the entire town because everyone was sure she did it. And she never moved. You'd think, like, if everyone thought you murdered your parents, you might move to another town. Not Lizzie Borden. She didn't move.
Not me either. People
Yeah.
would celebrate.
Hmm.
People would make a statue of me.
So, yeah, Lizzie Borden actually was found not guilty. And
How
although
did they find her not guilty?
because they decided there was not enough evidence to convict her. She acted
That'll
really
do it
weird.
every time.
She kept changing her story, and she kept acting really weird and unbalanced. But yeah, found not a guilty. It's an assalted
Fuck, that's
caramel
fucked up. That is so
martini,
fucked up.
Irish
It's so
cream.
fucked up. I was looking at that famous photo of a hanging of black folk by
Yes,
white folk
yes,
in a southern town today,
yes.
and never before have I looked at that photo and cried. And today I cried, and it was because one of the men in the photo, and it's very difficult to spot, he's not up the front, he's out the back, he's holding a photograph in his hands. He's holding a photograph in his hand.
Yes.
I'm guessing it was his family.
Yeah.
And he wanted to remember his family as he died. And that got me. That just got me.
What gets me about those lynching photos is that they were obviously social occasions.
That is sickening.
That's disturbing. It's
horrifying. That it's like a picnic. They were all having a great time.
The whole family's there.
Yes. And the famous one is the one with a little girl up the front. You
get them ones with the kids. Yeah.
And they're having a great time. It's another Negri hanging, and you just go, oh, come on, because it's obviously the 20th century, and you just go, what the hell? The last codified Aboriginal shoot was in 1983 in Western
Yeah.
Australia. And thank fuck, all of the participants got found guilty and got jailed, even
Yeah.
the 3 policemen involved.
Yeah.
The jury and the judge, all of them were white, and they all basically turned around and said, "Who did you think you were? What did you think you were doing?
Yeah.
Well, how the hell did you think this was a thing? You know,
Yeah.
how did you go into a town full of men, women, and children and shoot them all
Yeah.
and go, this is going to be fine?
Yeah.
When they were clearly people and you just killed them and murdered them because
Yeah.
you didn't like the idea of them being so close. They weren't even in their town. They were just getting too close.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
that was all it was. Oh,
Yeah.
we don't like them being 35 kilometres away.
The interestingly, speaking of anniversaries, because I'm always looking up anniversaries for the days when I do live streams, it is relatively recently was the anniversary of the Mile Creek massacre, which took place a much longer time ago, early 20th century, but it's particularly notable because the white guys who murdered a bunch of Aboriginal people who had the audacity to exist and be camping the riverbank outside the town of Mile Creek, they were actually put on trial and convicted. And that is a thing that just didn't happen. And yes, in as much as their defense was basically, but they were black.
Who cares?
Yeah. Who's saying like, you're on trial for murdering these people, and the defense amounted to, but they were black, and
that was
like,
what their defense was. That was what the defense was. But they were Kurds. What? Why are we even here?
Yeah.
And then the judge went, "Well, you're here because you murdered a whole bunch of people."
Yeah.
People.
And it was like finally time to say, oh, we're actually going to punish people who go on little murder rampages.
You need my band?
Would you mind to sit a bit more back?
Not at all. I just want to plug this in.
Yeah, I don't want to make you fall.
Okay. I'll sit back. How's that? I'm sitting back.
Yeah.
Are we happy?
Why it is all wet?
Oh, I spilled a bloody cup of water on the ground like an idiot. And I thought I won't go wandering in it. I'll just leave it there until I can get a towel or something and put on it. Like your skillful footwork is doing. See, if I could do that, what you're doing now, I could join a proper, like, soccer team or like a football. Don't laugh at me.
I'm not in a soccer team. I don't even know how to play soccer. No idea.
You know how to play soccer. It's one ball and you've got to put it in the goals at the other end. It's the stupidest game on earth. It's like made by English and played by everyone, you know, and, you know, it's so boring they fight.
Just give me 1 second. Let me deal with this business in here. And I will come up with you. Don't worry.
Ooh.
I nearly got so fucking busted that the shit would have come down so hard, so fast, and so brutally. I don't know what would have happened. So there you go.
It's AD shenanigans.
It was a misdirection.
A misdirection, nicely done.
Misdirection. I absolutely did not look at the thing that was bad. And I absolutely looked at something else and concentrated all my attention on the something else. And the thing I was holding in my fucking hands was completely ignored. So, pro tip, kids, intention and framing is everything.
Pretty good.
Andrew, would you please explain to our viewers what intention and framing is, and I'll come in and do fill-ins, because this will be life lessons that will get you a job, that will get you laid, that will get you out of a fist fight, that will get you a good deal on a car. You know what I'm saying? It'll get you anything.
All right. Well, I'm first going to say hello to Glee and Kirsten and Peter and Safa, because I don't know that I said hello to them. And I'm not sure exactly what angle you're. I think there's still something going on there. Now, I'm not sure exactly what angle you're taking when you talk about framing and intention.
Okay. What I'm talking about was the thing that the late great Dr. John Carroll taught us, which was that. Oh, and Bill Blakey had a bit of involvement in this too. Was when you're performing anywhere, anything, on the street, on stage, on camera, in a massive Wales anus. What you do is you give the performance a frame, you give it a setup. So what we've done here is we've given this night a frame. For 2 hours, we're going to be chatting with and interacting with the peeps. Okay, that's the frame. It's a social chat where hopefully some funny stuff happens, hopefully some intelligent stuff happens, hopefully I get my cock out. But Angry will say no, and I will just pull my head in, both of them, and not get my cock out. So the frame is funny but intelligent, because that's what you are, peeps. And the intent is committing to either a characterization or a aiming point, a point to where you've got to get to. When Angry and I work, what we do very carefully is it's like having one glass of water that you're pouring into another glass of water. And so when I get ready to throw to Angry, I set him up first, so he's got something to go on. He's got some rope to hang on to, like a rope ladder. I throw him down a bit more rope ladder, so he doesn't have to jump and make up something new. I throw him down a bit of rope ladder. Now he can choose to go, no, I don't want that rope ladder, because it's a shit rope ladder. AIDS's made it, and he's made it out of pubic hair again. Fucking hippie. I'm going to get a proper rope ladder made out of steel, and then when I get up on top of the ship, I'm going to fucking hit him with it. But when I throw him a bit of rope, he can then climb up a little bit further and then decide to throw me some rope ladder or just keep on climbing. It's a decision thing, but I know the signals and signs of his intent, of his direction, of his needing to get to meaning to express to you, the peeps. And what intent is directing people's attention to one thing at a time, and to make them aware of one thing at a time. Because our world is a very chaotic world. Our world is full of flashy lights and AIDS's cocks and all kinds of advertising. And basically you get distracted. But if you can, in the middle of it all, make a frame of meaning and of silence, and just with intent say, this is the one thing we have to think about, do, act upon, and make happen, then what you've got is framing and intent, which are the two simplest things. Stanislavski talks about them in different ways. And he's Russian, so he should know.
He is. For those who don't know Stanislavski is famous for a theory that would end up becoming basically mutated into method acting in the US. It's
But
where
that was a perversion of what he said. That was a perversion of what he said.
it is. That's what I said. It mutated. The Stanislavski talked about the magic if. It's going when you are performing this, you should be performing as if you are the person experiencing this. So there were all sorts of little ways to make you believe the role and whatnot. But yes, it got pretty weird with the American method acting. Like you'd get like who Dustin Hoffman in Marathon Man, where he's meant to look like he's being tortured, so he didn't sleep for 3 days, and so he looked like shit on set. And he kind of boasted that to Laurence Olivier that he really wanted to look the part and didn't sleep for 3 days and he's all strung out. To which Olivier is reputed to have responded, "Why didn't you try acting?"
Yeah. Try acting, dear boy. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Because
What a
apparently
car.
they did not particularly get on set.
Oh,
and I
no.
think
So
it's
Laurence Olivier
because
thought Dustin Hoffman was a wanker.
and I think
let him know.
Hoffman was really threatened by Olivier as well.
Of
Olivier,
course
the
he was. He's
greatest living actor in
Sir Laurence Olivier,
Yeah.
the best actor in the world. It's so simple. He is the best actor by this time. He's dead now, but he was at that point the best actor in the world. When he went in for screen tests for the dentist, the script says the dentist is bald. Olivier was an old man at this point, and he had not a lot of fuzz on top, and they were a bit worried that he might say, "Oh, I don't want you to cut my hair." And he's gone in for the screen test and said, "So you've got a barber about to shave my hair, haven't you?" And he just, every time, just went into every single role. And son of. And he went into every single role, prepped and ready to roll. And at the end of the day, he would clock off, go and have a couple of beers, go to the gym. Then he would write letters to his friends, go to sleep when he was making movies, have between 8 and 9 hours sleep, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to makeup, and sit there patiently for 3 hours, and then go and act his ass out and get several $1 million for it in the times when people weren't getting that kind of money. If you were going to get 200 grand, I've got a funny story about this. If you got 200 grand, then you were in the big leagues. And I mean, this is in the friggin' 60s and 70s when money was, worth more than 3 stones and a flat rock. He is one of my favourite guys. Bob Hoskins, okay?
Yes.
Notice me remembering names tonight, Angry?
You must be getting some sleep or something.
Or drugs.
Either.
Bob Hoskins was asked to audition for a movie. So he's gone in to audition for this movie. And he got told, "Thanks, Bob. Listen, mate, we've got to tell you now, we've really just got you in to get a bit of star power to audition to catch this other guy for the role. So thank you, but we didn't want to fuck you around waiting. You're not going to get the movie." And Hoskins says, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's cool." Goes home. 3 days later, gets a check in the mail, $200,000. And this is in the 80s, right? He goes, "What the fuck is this?" Rings up the studio and goes, "What? I seem to have a check for 200 grand in my hand. Is that a mistake?" No. We got you in to do that read for nothing. We just didn't want to fuck you around. And Hoskins apparently said, "Well, if you've got any more movies you don't want me to be in, just let me know."
Yeah, from a period where a British actor who was doing really, really well, to get a check like that is just like, and I mean, yeah, Bob Hoskins is the man. Bob Hoskins is the fucking man. But yes. Hey, Salumi. Yes, we're glad to see AZ back. I dropped in and saw the man today, and we discussed it, and he's up for it. And we got his iPad on a stand. It's on a table. He doesn't have to worry about holding it and dropping it. We're fucking rocking and rolling like there's no tomorrow right now.
I am so stoked with this setup, dude. This is the easiest way we've ever done it. It's the clearest screen we've ever had.
Yeah,
we've
it's
had
fucking
less
great.
dropouts than ever before. It's just it's the shit. I'm surprised we didn't do this earlier. Oh, that's right.
We're doing it now, so that's good.
Yeah, so how cool is that? I've got to try and plug this in one more time before the devils get me.
Fair
And
enough.
they're trying.
The
Have you ever
devil.
seen The Exorcist? I was doing that today.
What with the vomiting?
Oh, and the power of Christ compels you. That was the nurses, and the head nurse came in and said, "Adrian, get back on the bed." And it was it.
Yeah.
I got back on the bed and shut up, and they read my number, and it was all over.
It's amazing what they got away with in The Exorcist. A little girl simulating hitting herself in the vagina with a crucifix going, "Let Jesus fuck you. Let Jesus fuck you. Let Jesus fuck you." Just the idea that they got away with that is wild, honestly.
It's not, and I'll tell you why. In the 1970s, art all around the world was coming to a place where it was no longer afraid to look at taboos and go, this is just another wall that doesn't mean anything. And then in 1980, God was nearly dead. The churches were empty. The oh my God, I got it in. Oh my God, it's working.
That's what she said. Sorry.
That's what, no,
hey,
it's not
Sunday.
working.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
Anyway, God was nearly dead. Everything was going okay. And then AIDS turned up in 1981. And God came stonking back. And the trouble is nowadays we forget that there was a time where nudity was treated like natural, normal, and healthy, as was sex, and violence was treated as unhealthy, disgusting, and not appropriate.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Deer Hunter.
Yes.
Hello.
Can I check your blood pressure?
Please check my blood pressure. I would be honoured if you would.
Yes.
Mary,
Aussie Gun Bunny
so
asking, is AZ in hospital again?
Yeah, this is work. And this is my boss. This is the guy you saw today.
Oh, okay.
And look at him in his nice clothes. He looks much better in his nice clothes.
But you are not.
I am in my nice clothes.
That's about as nice as he
You can't
gets.
see any of the dinner stains. You can't.
No, that's a new design.
Yeah. Hello. On the catwalks of Milan and Paris this year, you'll be seeing women walking up and down with diapers on and this gown. I'm just previewing it for you because you're the special peeps. Anyway,
when we talked about The Exorcist, Peter's recommending a book called A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay.
No,
you don't want that?
I've read A Head Full of Ghosts.
Oh, you have?
I've read a half of A Head
Half
Full of
of
Ghosts.
it. Okay.
And no.
It's like that. No.
Now my temperature has been read.
Yeah.
Now we will see if I'm feverish.
No.
I had to get a
I am
temperature.
not feverish.
I had to get a temperature reading to visit Aidsy today. They did one of those things where they pointed at your forehead. It's like something out of Star Trek.
The COVID precautions in a hospital are quite. You've got to wash your hands to go into a room. You've got to wash your hands to leave a room. When you go into the bathroom, you've got to be shown. You've got to be seen washing your hands. You've got to be sort of seen washing other parts of you as well. And in my case, a person that wears a diaper, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, peeps, you're going to be wearing a diaper too. By the way, most of you are going to live to 120. I'll tell you why later. So when you go to the toilet, they tear the diaper off you and throw it away. And then you get a new one, and you get to put it on. It's fresh and new. Then you have to wash your hands for at least 15 seconds. I have to wash my hands for at least 30 seconds because I've got no motor skills.
Adrian, sorry, can I interrupt you? How much is your pain now?
My pain level at the moment is 8.5. It's centered around the muscles and joints of my legs and arms. My middle back has gotten much, much better since yesterday. My neck is still sore and the headache is gone. And the pain in the back of my head only appears when it's touched. So that's fixed up really nicely. No brain damage for me. Thanks, Mary. If I roll out of bed in my sleep again, which is the first time I've done that in months. Do you know why I do it? Because I naturally favour my left side when I fall. And if I'm rolling around in bed, which I was, and I get up to the left side of the bed, I will roll left and crunch down I went. I do it at home too. And Mr. Boss of the house just laughs at me. What a prick. I think I should get a new boyfriend. Are you watching Boss of the house? Are you?
He might be. He's not in the chat. But who is in the chat? Lion Spider and Big Pat Wrestling Days. Hello to you, chaps.
Oh, wow. Hi, guys.
Yeah, Kirsten's just pointing out most people are not as sanguine about 8.5 level of pain as you are. It's all about what you're used to, Kirsten.
And what you can conceal.
Hey, Charlie. Thank you. I like the tie too.
Oh, look at that. I can see the live comments, but I can't see the screen. Okay. That's fucked up. I want my live chat and my screen. Well, I'll work out how to do it because I'm a genius. And now I've got a viewer that I can't get off the screen because I touched his... There you go. Touched his image.
Oh, he hung up. He'll probably be back. Aussie Gun Bunny. Yes, David AIDS is making a spectacle of himself. Nice pun. Big Pat, I'm fine. AIDS is in hospital. He'll be back in a minute, I'm pretty sure. He's in a bad way. Yeah, he's been in there a couple of weeks. He'll be in there a couple of weeks more. He's got he's attempting to get some rehab because his hands aren't working very well. And he also can't really walk without falling over and hurting himself. And he's supposedly checking out of hospital in about 2 weeks. He does not feel very positive about that. Oh, Invisible Chicken, you sent a card. That's lovely. I will pass it on to him when it arrives. I was going to make dessert cocktails. And I think it is timey. I'm assuming Aidsy will get back, and I'm gonna Yeah, I got my camera gear ready. I might as well record. Will I? Will I? Might do it on Sunday or Monday. Yeah. So can I be bothered to shoot the videos tonight? Oof. Tell you what, I might get ready and see if Aidsy's back at that point and take it from there. Oh, there he is. He's back. You touch at the wrong thing.
I touched many wrong things. The things that I touched that were especially wrong was I wanted to see the chat and the video at the same time. So I tried to split the screen, wouldn't let me do that.
Wouldn't
But it's
let you.
got a little button down there that says chat. So I pressed it and I saw the chat. And I'm going, I have chat, but I don't have video. So what I then did was I tried to go back, and I managed to do that, but I'd accidentally highlighted a viewer, and his whole screen popped up. So I had to swipe him off my screen so I could work, and then unfortunately I've hit kill everything. And, like I tripped over a plug, which I want to do. And, away it went. That thing I was trying to plug in?
Yes.
It completely failed.
Oh, no.
And I've got to go again. But I'm going to do that a bit later.
All right.
In the meantime, I am going to grab a bottle and... yeah.
Oh well, I can give you privacy for that.
No, I don't need it. No one's going to say anything.
No, I think the rest of us might, but
if you want.
That's all right.
If you want, mute my mic.
No, that's okay. So Lumi got an exam tomorrow, dreading it. I feel confident in your ability to acquit yourself well in the exam tomorrow. And Kirsten, you're applying to do uni post-grad.
Kirsten, do well.
Yes.
Anyone who's applying or testing tomorrow, and there's a lot of it on, go into your test knowing that you studied, and you're not going to know everything, but that's okay. Yeah. What you are going to know is all your life skills, and all of your life skills are going to help you answer those questions. They will. You'll have seen something that will help you answer all the questions that you don't know. And you'll go, oh, I don't know, but I'll have a stab. You don't just look at a question and go, I can't do it. Have a stab. One of the questions I got asked once is, why are manhole covers round?
Yes.
And I just went, well, they're not all round. And then I remembered a time when I saw some Telstra guys putting a cover back on their lines, which are only very short, by the way. Those manhole covers are often 4 and 6 meters deep. And these Telstra guys cracked their concrete lid and said, "Fuck, I wish these were round like the road guys, then they'd just drop in." Yeah. And I went, oh, you can drop them in from any angle. And remember, manhole covers are about 200 to 300 kilos. The movies where you see the hero pop the manhole cover up, no, that's not a thing. So they're 200 to 300 kilos. So you don't want to be stuffing around trying to get the angles just right. You want to just get it near and push it close and let it, wobble in. And it doesn't matter which way the grids are going, as long as the thing is in. The next truck that goes over it will seal it. So yeah, you know stuff. You know more stuff than you think you know. When you're going in for an interview, this will help you. Think about your politics. I know it sounds strange, but think about your politics. Are you right wing? Are you left wing? Because what that'll do is it'll give you an attitude and a bearing. You won't seem wishy-washy. You'll come from a place of firmness. It'll look like you've had a job before. It'll look like you've raised a family. It'll look like you've been responsible for something. And so if you know where you're coming from, bosses will read that as responsibility and equitability. What's another good one? Oh, turn up at the job interview an hour early. Sit in their foyer, in a nice air-conditioned foyer, and just meditate and chill, go over the things you know, go over your resume a couple of times, think about all the curly questions you'd ask someone, and just chill. And then finally, when they come and get you, you're already in an environment that you've got used to. So that when you go into the other room with the same look and the same furniture, you'll be comfortable. Another trick is if someone offers you coffee or tea in the middle of the interview, be especially grateful, be especially polite. Please and thank you doesn't hurt you, costs nothing. And give them a real smile, because one of the tricks that a lot of companies and corporates pull is they'll get the CEO to serve the coffee. And when you find out
see what you like,
that you've been a prick to the, when they find out you've been a prick to the CEO, and you find out you've been a prick to the CEO, that changes the whole tone of the interview. Because then you're sucking dick for the rest of the interview, and you're not going to get hired anyway. You might as well get up and thank everyone and piss off. So be nice to the guy serving the coffee. Also, too, you haven't asked for that coffee. What they've done is they've put that in to see if you're polite. And so many people are not polite. And so many people look down on people who are servers or cleaners or people who serve them. The number of times I've seen people chuck money at checkout chicks, waiting for them to pick it up off the belt, and then grunt when they get a change, offends me. You don't have to do that. She's got a story. She's got a life. She's got a family. She's got hobbies. She's probably the darts or pool champion of her region. You're not. You don't know anything about the tattoo of the dragon she's got on her back. That's taking 5 years to finish. You don't know anything about the fish that's next to it, and you don't know anything about the tattoo of the dragon that her husband has got on the opposite side of his back, and the fish that he's got on the opposite side of his back, so that when they're together, the fish kiss or the dragons kiss. You don't know that. So get in your head that everyone you meet in every situation is as interesting and more interesting than you. You've got a lot to learn from them. Be curious. Be interested. Interested is interesting. So if you go into a job interview, look around and ask what the curtains are made of. Ask where the wood from the desk came from. Be interested in everything. You know, they're asking you questions. Ask them questions back. Even pointless little things like, where's the wood from this table? They might say, oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. But they might say, oh, it's hue and pine. And hue and pine is really rare and really quite beautiful and supple in the hands. And you go, wow, that must have been a really big tree, because it's leaf bound. And I can see that it's all the way out here. Stuff like that in an interview gets you so many points, because you've noticed a detail and you've said something beautiful about it. Someone in a corporate environment that can do that to an email that's come from another company,
Mhm.
and you just basically gone, oh yeah, thanks for your email. I saw the product and it was really wonderful, and I loved the way that it feels in the hand, and the colours you've got are simply amazing. They're not normal colours; they're unique, and this will be a really wonderful thing to sell. Now, that could be all bullshit, but you know enough about making people feel special, making people feel respected, that you can put that stuff in, and your boss will be very happy when you pick up the $15 million contract.
Yeah.
This is how you get big old raises. This is how you get big old promotions. A lot of people jump job to job every 6 months. You know what? It's a young person thing. I am an old person. I'm not knocking young person culture, but do something amazing before you jump. Because what that'll do is it'll put you in the top 10% of people who do the kind of thing that you do. You will never be out of work if you're in the top 10%.
Yeah.
Like our friend Angry, who
I am
I'm going to embarrass now.
actually throw something in based on what Lion Spider said. The interview early thing. He said when he's gone to interviews early, it's found that employers were annoyed. What AZ was saying was if it's at a building, there's a foyer where you can just hang out, do that.
Yes.
Do not announce yourself. Do not come up and say, I'm here for an interview in an hour. So if it's not in an environment where you can just sit, don't, because they will get annoyed, because people's days are very busy, and finding the spare half hour to hour in people's days to do a job interview is a major hassle. And you don't tell them, you don't announce the job. Even in the interview, you don't say, I've been sitting downstairs in the building foyer for an hour.
No, you do not.
This is for you and for getting in the right mental state. You definitely don't actually tell people I'm here early for an interview. 10 minutes is fine, and expect to wait the 10 minutes when you do that. But you definitely don't show up an hour early and saying I'm here for an interview that's not for another hour.
If security turns up and says, mate, you've been here for 40 minutes, what are you doing? Say it's a bank. Say you're interviewing for a bank. Security gets a bit nervous about people hanging out for an hour. If security turns up and says, what are you doing? You go, oh, look, I'm here for an interview. I'm just chilling and I'm just getting the vibe of the place. And when I go in there, I want to be comfortable with the place and the scene. That's all I'm doing. If you want me to move somewhere, I'm happy to. And you can also show them your resume. I'm doing an interview. Show them your resume. And security will know that there's interviews going on. They will also know that at 45 minutes, people will start to come in.
What is that you're crinkling up?
Sorry?
What is that you're crinkling up?
Oh,
something with the... Oh, okay. We get right in front of the microphone. Can't hear you at all. Literally cannot hear you.
What?
Literally cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Literally all that's audible is the crinkling noise.
Let me crinkle. I'll stop, and then it'll be done.
Yeah.
It is done.
Alrighty. So speaking of chocolatey and desserty things, I'm going to make the first of my dessert cocktails. This is actually a whiskey dessert cocktail, which I wasn't expecting to find when I looked up. So I'm using my recently purchased Australian whiskey, Starward Twofold, and the recipe says 2 ounces of whiskey. And
can I just ask where you got Starward Twofold from, please?
From the actually, I got it from Dan Murphy's. But they had a special for members, so I got it. I was going to get it from the Starwood website. Kirsten works for Starwood. Their distillery's in Port Melbourne. Hopefully going to get to have a tour of the distillery at some point with Kirsten.
Take your camera, please.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the whole idea. So, so we've got 2 ounces of the Starwood. I'm going to put 1 ounce of the white creme de cacao, the chocolate liqueur, which is part of what's going to make it desserty. And they said put some hazelnut liqueur in. I don't actually have hazelnut liqueur, but I do have macadamia nut liqueur, which is very good. Another Australian delicacy. I'm putting half an ounce of macadamia nut liqueur in there. And then I'm going to stir it.
Stirred, not shaken.
Got to get it nice and chilly.
Not really. Oh, that'll work. If I do that, I'm looking angry.
You don't. I'm hardly ever looking at the camera, because if I look at the camera, I can't see the chat, and so I'm almost always looking away from the camera when I talk.
I can't see the chat, and I couldn't read it anyway.
Well,
I'm happy to answer any questions from the chat.
You can do whatever you like.
But we'll wait till Angry finishes cocktail first, because it sounds like it would blow my mind. Whiskey, which I love, with chocolate, and chocolate.
Oh, yeah. This ice not coming out of the fucking mold.
The ice is not coming out of the mold.
All right, and because it's a whiskey drink, I'm going to put it in a rocks glass, and I need my strainer. I forgot my strainer.
You will need your strainer.
Don't want the stirring ice to end up in the glass. Right.
People don't cotton on to that, and it surprises me that people don't get it. You don't put the stirring ice into the glass ice.
Because it's already started to melt.
It's already started to melt, and it will put chips in the glass that will deflavour the it'll affect your tongue and it'll deflavour the drink. Oh, that looks gorgeous.
It kind of looks just like whiskey, basically. Yes, Luke, it's a drink from the land of chocolate. Mm. Oh, that's good. That's good. Ooh, and the whiskey just kind of sneaks up on you afterwards. The liqueurs.
Can you so make me one of those when I come around to York?
Yeah, definitely. The liqueurs make it much sweeter than just whiskey. So I'm going like, Oh, that is a sweet dessert treat. And then just the warm flow of the whiskey catches up. Fuck it. Yeah, Kirsten, it's basically a chocolate old-fashioned. It's really good. It is really good.
So what's it actually called?
The website it's got a shitty name, actually. Calls it Liquid Bourbon Ball, which doesn't make any sense.
That's
to me.
stupid.
That's shit name.
It's a shit name. We've got to come up with a better name. Pete, what's a better name for this cocktail? Angry, what's a better name for this cocktail?
Well, Kirsten's come up with chocolate old-fashioned, and I think that's works
kind of good.
Because it's, to the classic old-fashioned. In fact, you know what I should try? Although I don't know if this is a front, Kirsten, because the other Starwood product I have is a pre-mixed old-fashioned with a house-made bitters in it. It's a Starwood whiskey with sweetener and bitters, that's your old-fashioned whiskey, sugar, and bitters. And they've got house-made bitters. It's made from Australian botanicals, and it actually won an international award for best pre-mixed cocktail. So, and it is very good. It's very good, and it was pretty good. Like, it was like, again, I got that from Dan Murphy's for like about $50 for the bottle, and there's 10 cocktails in the bottle. 10 cocktails for $50 is pretty good.
Is
Well,
not
I
what
mean,
you're going to get at a bar.
the way I pour them, there might be 7 or 8 cocktails in the bottle. If you're going to bar servings, there's about 10 cocktails in the bottle. But with my slightly more generous at-home serves, probably 7 or 8 in the bottle. But
I keep on buying bloody Bailey's Irish Cream, and they put such a little pissy amount in.
yeah,
It's like, what's going on here?
yeah,
It's like that's not a shot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If someone doesn't give you a proper pour, you've got to question what's going on.
Yeah. But, you can't at a bar. They just tell you, fuck off.
Yeah. You know what I was really
But
amazed
in
at?
place,
One of the bars I went to with Mrs. Angry in when we last year going to the comedy festival, a bar in the city called Trinket. They had a cocktail that was basically whiskey and banana liqueur. There might have been something else in it. Basically whiskey and banana. And at the time I thought, that doesn't sound that great. And I ended up trying it. And it was fucking awesome. Kind of like this. Whiskey with a chocolate liqueur is really good. Whiskey with a banana liqueur, really good.
see, I can imagine that. I can imagine whiskey pairing really well with a sweet.
Yeah.
Because what it'd take is the cut of the alcohol out, and then the warm of the alcohol and the stone would come in. People, oh, thank you. That's really nice. I didn't know you were going to do that. You know how I said I was going to do a bottle, and you guys said no, don't do it.
Yeah.
I did do it. I just didn't tell you what I was doing.
I know, you were very circumspect. No one noticed. Sulumi is asking, was it Maid and I vermouth that I recommended? Yes. Yes, it was. And yeah, they make sweet, dry, and classic. So depending how you like it, you either get the sweet vermouth, the dry vermouth, or in between, the classic. I've had the sweet, and I currently have the classic. And the Maid and I, and again, the Maid and I vermouth is probably the first vermouth I've ever had, because I've only used vermouths as mixers, and I just had a taste of the Maid and I when I got it, and I went, oh no, this is good. I could just sit with a glass of this and drink this. It's got its own character. It's very good. So
sorry, I keep on forgetting to center myself.
That's all right.
I'm at the right head size now to mask Angry's fucking massive head.
Yeah.
That cocktail sounds awesome, and I really want one when I come around to yours.
Absolutely.
To do some business. We do business around at Angry's all the time, which involves us discussing something for 3 minutes and then fuck-assing around for about 5 hours.
Yeah.
Which is, important.
It is.
That's part of
Absolutely
the
is.
process.
I'm going to try and make. I'm not going to do a
it
cherry bakewell yet. I think I'll do a banana split now. Now I'm going to end up using up all my Mac. I'll have to buy some more Mac, but that's okay because that's an excuse to buy more Mac. I reckon this would also, if I had a bottle. Well, okay, I have a bottle cutter and I can't make it work. If I could make my bottle cutter work, I think this would make a really good, like drinking glass, like a pint glass. Just cut off the top. And it's a huge, chunky bit of glass would make a very good drinking receptacle. Annette, what was the drinking? Well, I just drank what we decided is a chocolate old-fashioned. It's just whiskey, 2 ounces going with proud Aussie stuff, the Starwood, 2 ounces of whiskey, 1 ounce of creme de cacao, and a ½ ounce of the macadamia liqueur. So it's a dessert drink, and it's a fucking chocolatey whiskey delight. But now I'm gonna make a banana split. with nuts. This recipe I have. It was interesting. It's exactly what I was expecting a recipe to be, and it doesn't have nuts. So this is going to be. I'm going to make a banana split with nuts, and I think I'll use my lemon vodka.
So, guys, what I'm doing is trying to center myself. All of this technology I'm using is new. The last time we used it was the first time we used it. We didn't even know if it was going to go, and jumped up on the StreamYard and said, "You're on, son." And so we had to sort of make it go, and I had to hold it in my hands because I didn't have a stand for it. Now I've got a stand for it. I can just hang out and look at you. But the thing is, because the camera's off to one side of the thing, I've got to keep on recognising that I've got to look and be right at the side of the machine. And it's the most unnatural feeling in the world, because usually cameras are centered in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
And this thing is clearly meant to do portraiture. And I've got to do a letterbox, or what do they call it, landscape, which it handles very well.
Yeah.
And it's going, if you want to do that, the downside is you've got to be outside it.
Okay.
And next time you're here,
yeah,
we'll put it on and I'll show you the effect, and you'll see it and go, "That's weird." Let's go back to the cocktail.
I'm just really appreciating my lemon lime zest vodka. That's natural color. What I did, I made a syrup called Oleo Sacrum. We peel, in this case, it was lemons and limes, peel them, and then cover them in caster sugar, and the caster sugar draws the oils out of the peel, turns into a syrup. Then you add hot water, mix it up so it becomes totally liquid, strain out the rind, and you got this really nice sugar syrup that has a zingy lemon lime, and it also has that slight sort of oil consistency as well. It makes it really nice.
Yeah.
Then after I made that sugar syrup, I've got all these lemon lime peels just sitting there, and they're sort of impregnated in sugar as well. And I thought, you know what? I'll stick them in a jar with vodka for a couple of days. Vodka leaches all the color out of the peel along with the flavor. So I've got this fabulous lemon lime vodka. So my next dessert cocktail is going to be a banana split. Got 1.5 ounces of the vodka just for the, getting drunk aspect. But lemon lime's a nice dessert flavor. And then I'm going to do half an ounce of all the liqueurs. So half an ounce of creme de cacao. So there's chocolate in our dessert. Our banana split, the chocolate syrup on the banana split. Half an ounce of banana liqueur. So there's bananas in our banana split. And half an ounce of the macadamia. That's the crushed nuts sprinkled on top of our banana split. So this ought to be very desserty.
Angry.
Yeah.
Please be careful that you haven't hit your mute. Check that you haven't hit your mute button.
I have not hit my mute button.
You haven't. Okay. It's probably just my end.
Yeah. So yes. Ooh, Catherine wants me to make a lemon meringue pie cocktail. Could probably do that. Egg white, I imagine. Salumi, yes, your cake you baked went over really well at work. I knew your cake would go over well. Yes. You're getting more compliments on how good your... Sorry, I just saw Lion Spider posted. I don't know if you caught up on this bit of news, AZ. Trump had a rally in Tulsa.
microphone.
Sorry, what?
All right.
I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Still haven't got him.
No, I don't think you can hear me. Because you're not responding to anything I say, so I don't think you can hear me. Okay, cool. Forget that then, because at the moment he clearly can't hear me. And now it's all going to go funny for a while. I was just going to tell him your joke about the Trump meme, Trump looking defeated, haven't been screwed by this many teens since Epstein's last party. Yes. Yeah, if I was making a lemon meringue pie cocktail, it'd probably be with the lemon flavored booze and some egg white, maybe passion fruit. I've got some passion fruit flavor as well. That's probably how I'd make a lemon meringue pie cocktail. Maybe with chocolate liqueur, like a cream liqueur. Oh, now he's gone and done something. Switched his camera off. See, he can't resist fiddling. If he just left it sitting there, nothing would go wrong. But he can't resist fiddling. I've got to get a glass for my banana split. This one will do. Keeping my glasses chilled because I'm a classy motherfucker. Okay. Get rid of him till he fixes it. Okay, that's actually not a bad idea. I've just got to keep an eye on him now. Right. Hey, Lee, how's it going? Oh, here, this one looks like a urine sample. That's okay. But the big question is, how does it? Ooh, Kirsten, you have a distiller mate who makes a pavlova vodka that's delicious. That sounds good. But this is my banana split with nuts cocktail. Ooh, yeah. Okay, what's he doing? Is he coming back? No, he is back. There he is.
Where am I going? And I can hear him.
And you
can hear him.
Yep, you need to stop touching buttons.
It's fantastic.
Mm.
Are you speaking particularly softly, or have I turned it down?
No, I'm at my normal volume, so maybe you need to turn up the volume on your iPad.
That's what I've got to do.
Catherine, what's in this? It's vodka, banana liqueur, chocolate liqueur, and macadamia liqueur. Possibly slightly less of the vodka, maybe. Or turn it into like 3/4 ounce of everything. That might be better, actually. 3/4 ounce of everything. It's pretty good though. But I think it doesn't need as much of the vodka as is in it, because there's three times as much vodka as everything else. So I think it would probably work better, slightly more of the liqueurs and slightly less of the liqueur. Well, you got graded with the distinction for your overall grade at university. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Oh, what's in Kirsten's friend's Pavlova vodka? That is an interesting question, Kirsten. How does a distiller make a Pavlova vodka? Ooh, Stella's been trying coconut milk clarified cocktail experiment, but with muslin instead of coffee filter. Taste was better. Not as smooth as dairy, but didn't have that bad taste. Okay, that's a good bit of information, because I got a nut milk bag as an alternative to the coffee filter. Maybe it's the paper in the coffee filter that was making the coconut taste funny. I should try it again and use the nut milk bag to filter it rather than thing. I love that answer, Kirsten. You don't know what's in the Pavlova vodka. He said it's black magic. No, he's got to keep his trade secrets, I guess. Not sure what AIDS is doing. He's trying to adjust the volume or something similar there. We'll wait to see what happens there. Kind of like I had a haircut today. I kind of like it like this. I might still color it tomorrow. More grey at the sides there and there. That's weird. It looks less grey on that side. Maybe it's just because of the light. I don't know. But because I don't have to worry about jobs and stuff, I might do the purple hair color again. Go to the supermarket tomorrow and get purple hair color. Kirsten, yes, that does sound totally like a distillery response. Use black magic. I agree, Charlie. A nut milk bag sounds like a scrotum. That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, Silumi, coffee paper filter can add a weird tasty things. I've never found it bother me with the cocktails, but it's interesting that Stella thinks that coconut has done. I think I need to try again with coconut. I liked the almond milk clarified drink, and I've liked all the what do you call it? Dairy milk clarified drinks, but yeah, coconut just no. So maybe I will try another Coke. And in fact, I think I'll try a cocktail that traditionally has coconut in it and see what happens. Sunbear, there's a machine called the Almond Cow for making nut milk. That's a great name for a product, is all I'm going to say. The Almond Cow is a great name for a product. Well, the nut milk bag is for making almond milk. You meant to soak. Oh, is my audio tinny? Okay. So it's not the usual audio quality. That is interesting. Let me. What is it using for audio? It's doing that. Oh no, that's the speaker, microphone. Communication. So, Blue Yeti. Yes, okay. Yeah, that's weird. Look, I'm going to try something. Yeah. Did that change the audio? Did that change the audio quality as well? Okay. Actually, Young Miss Angry had the microphone. She might have fucked with it. I just realized someone. Is it better now? Is it better now? Okay, cool. It's better now. Okay. Magic. No, I did actually change the setting. We're good. We're good. Okay. There we go. Well, that's good. Thank you for letting me know that the audio was being a bit iffy. Don't know if AZ's coming back. He disappeared altogether just then. We shall see. Bedroom voice clear now. Oh, yeah. The Almond Cow doesn't need a bag. That sounds like a really defiant protest chant, Sunbear. The Almond Cow doesn't need a bag. The Almond Cow doesn't need a bag. Or maybe that's just me. Not bad. Yeah, no, I definitely think that would be better if I made it even ratios of everything rather than being so heavy on the vodka. I was going to try and make a cherry Bakewell cocktail. And I know what I'm going to put in it. This one's recommending gin. Oh, here's a question for you, Kirsten. You know the gins I have, the Applewood and the Little Bear ones, the Doctor, the Gypsy, and the Sailor. If I was going to use one of those in a dessert cocktail that was going to have maraschino and the macadamia nut liqueur in there, which gin would suit that best? Just looking, because I did find, not at all surprised that there are multiple cherry Bakewell cocktails online. Lots of people's idea of what a cherry Bakewell cocktail should be. And yeah, it's mostly what I was going to do. The one thing that was a good tip that I hadn't thought of, because a cherry Bakewell is almond marzipan flavored, I've got almond sweetener, orgeat syrup. So that's it. Kirsten, who are you answering? Starwood's the cheapest Aussie whiskey that's made from totally Australian products. Oh, Starwood is great, actually. Applewood gin or the Doctor. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and make a cherry Bakewell cocktail and see how it goes. Oh, Kirsten, you've been looking at your local Dan's for what's in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Salumi, I don't work for Starwood, but I think Starwood's the obvious choice for an Aussie whiskey. So, oh, Lion Spider, you've been waiting on coffee filters from China. See, I'm really iffy about ordering things from overseas at the moment. There you go. Actually, I got the Starwood from Dan's because they had a member offer on it. But yeah. Stella, I agree. Cherry Bakewell sounds like a Bond girl. It's true. Traditional English cake sweetie. It's has a pie crust and marzipan filling. So that's why we want a nut flavor as well as a cherry flavor in it. And I am also going to put some Liquor 43, which is like a vanilla honey liqueur. So, okay, Kirsten's advice, Applewood or the Doctor. I think I haven't been using the Doctor. I might put the Doctor in. Got to get my cocktail shaker for this one because it's going to have an egg white. All right. Now let's get some ingredients. I'll put these ones back. This one was in here. Okay, getting slightly less steady on my feet. That one's in there. Creme de cacao, I don't think I'm putting in this one. So that can go there. Want the Liquor 43. Liquor 43. What were the other 42 liquors is the question. Okay, the Doctor. That's the Doctor, isn't it? Yeah. The Doctor. Liquor 43. Cherry, maraschino. Right. Right. That's all the ingredients I want. All the ingredients all lined up. Oh, orgeat. Okay. Get the orgeat out of the fridge. Orgeat. That's passion. I should use that. It's a tiny bit of passion fruit. Room in the fridge. Here's the orgeat. Orgeat. So I think there's a lot of disagreement on how to pronounce the name of this almond sugar syrup. Classic ingredient for pre-prohibition era cocktails. Orgeat, traditional French almond syrup, is made by adding a small amount of apricot kernels to California almonds, giving it a distinct marzipan flavor without the use of extract. Vital ingredient in a Mai Tai, it's also key to flavors in a Japanese cocktail and many absinthe and tiki concoctions. The Japanese cocktail, well, here's brandy, orgeat, and bitters. That's like a brandy old-fashioned, basically. Oh, AZ's back. Sorry, I was off not looking at the screen, man. I
don't mind, big guy. I saw you reading there, a skill which I don't possess, and I was admirous and jealous at the same time. It was the kind of jealousy that makes me think, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of reading? Or learn to play the guitar. Because you don't have to read if you can learn to play the guitar. But then you die at 27, so...
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So Annette's asking me what liquor 43, and in fact, they spell it, I think, as the Espanol, LICOR, liquor 43. See what the website says. What does liquor 43 taste like? Creamy, light, surprisingly refreshing liqueur with a complex aroma. The characteristic taste of the tiger nut in harmony with rich spice and citrus aromas and a subtle floral finish. That is a very wanky description. The taste is warm, creamy, and smooth with flavors similar to the aroma. Emphatic vanilla beginning, hints of cocoa and other intermixed spices, sweet fruits, tangy citrus, all carried by a flavor akin to aged rum. Now, so to me, I say it's like vanilla and honey. Okay? It's really nice vanilla notes in it. And that's why I'm using it in a dessert cocktail, trying to simulate a cherry bakewell, because I think the flavor will go well in there. So, my take on a cherry bakewell. Okay. And this is going to shake because I'm going to put in... Oh, okay. Kirsten, should I try the egg white trick again? I've been letting this egg get to room temperature to see if I can do this tricky way of draining the egg white out. So, welcome back, Lee, by the way. So, okay. Okay. I'm going to break a little hole in the top. Okay, fine. Be like that. And let's see, it's like a big ball of snot. Come on, you can do it. It's like if one bit funds, physics cohesive forces will pull all the egg white out. I think it needed a bigger hole.
Looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, just like a big thing of snot. Want the egg white, but not the yolk to come out.
Are you getting yolk as well, are you?
No, I am not. There you go. I made the hole a bit bigger. Drained the egg white out. Look, it's like a big dangly thing of snot.
That is awesome.
That
is awesome.
But it kind of works.
I can imagine in a cocktail bar, watching that happen would blow people's minds.
Yeah, got to do it a bit better than I did, though. Oh, it is. It's really funny watching the cohesive. Okay, it's done. That's it. The rest of it can go in fucking compost. That's right. Although there are some cocktails that use the yolk. Commonly, they're called flips. If a cocktail uses an egg yolk, it's usually called a flip. Okay, so I got my egg white in with no yolk, which is a fucking miracle. So it's put. Where'd I put it? Okay, the Dr. Gin. I pop. I'm going to put 1 ounce of gin. 1 ounce of gin. And put that little cap back on. I'm going to have some neat little apothecary bottles when I finish all these sample-sized gins and whatnots that I have. Wait, what else did they suggest? 15 mils of the liqueurs. All right, I am going to do 15 mils of 3 different liqueurs. I'm going to do... Honestly, okay, that's really... I've got the... give me 1 second. I'm going to get my more finely scaled
Just to
measuring
I
glass.
just want to let you know that I have been pressing the wrong button to make the sound go up for
All right.
25 minutes. This has made it very difficult to hear Angry to re-comment upon your comments. I would apologise, but that
Oh, no, this is the
would
thing that happens,
basically
mate.
negate my spacism. I'm going to blame this on my spacism, and I'm going to congratulate myself on having the motor skills to press any fucking button at all.
All right.
I thank you.
Good work, man. So I'm putting in 15 mils of the orgeat, which is an almond syrup for sweetenings. I'm going to put in 15 mils of liquor 43.
Is that one of those fancy liquors, or is that just me?
It's pretty fancy.
Tundra.
This is one of those things, like it's trademarked, so only one company can make liquor 43. So they're not hugely famous, but, you know, they've trademarked the name. They're the only ones who can make liquor 43. 15 mils of the macadamia liqueur.
What would happen if you came out with liquor 44? 1 step up.
Yeah, one better. I am almost out of Mac. I'm going to have to go and get some more. And because it's a cherry Bakewell, 15 mils of maraschino liqueur. And AD, mate, can I ask you, does this bottle scream 70s or what?
Yes, it does. It took me back to my grandmother's house for a moment and scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because that was the grandmother that I didn't like.
That's
I have an auntie that I adore. She's fabulous. And her partner is fabulous as well. And every now and again, when my auntie walks through the door, I just freeze inside because I think it's my grandmother.
Oh God!
And then I realise it's my auntie. Chill out. And and she said to me, "Yes, I have that effect on people. Don't worry about it. I get it all the time." So yeah,
it's all right.
So
dry shake to get the egg really foamy. The technical term is emulsifying, but in practical terms, I'm getting it foamy. I'm going to use this ice to chill it, which is really unprofessional, but you know.
But it's it's ice. There's a big bloody block, and it's got temperature and it's got fluid. I'm going to come and see you, and you're not going to fit into your shirts because your biceps and your forceps are going to be completely bulging.
Yeah. Little bit of exercise there. Another chilled glass. 'Cause I'm a classy motherfucker.
Who's a classy motherfucker? Small boss angry.
Okay.
He's gonna
All right.
drink his cocktail now.
Drain that one out.
After straining it with the right tools, because he's got the right tools, because he's a cocktail maker, because he's no motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
That
Looking very
looks
stylish.
Awesome.
So, oh, fucking hell, that's good.
Explain to us the flavour hit.
Oh, it's just creamy and it is. This is fucking dessert in a glass right here.
Okay, take us
Tastes
from
like
the
ice
nose
cream.
right through to the tongue, right down
Yeah.
the throat. Let's go.
All right. So first, the balance between the components is all there. Like, seriously, of all the dessert drinks I've made, this one is the most like ice cream. This just tastes like vanilla ice cream going down. It's all the balance is there, but it's subtle. There's the nut, there's the cherry, there's the vanilla from the Liquor 43, and interestingly, this is quite a good gin, but not really tasting the gin. Like the gin's just there to get you drunk, really.
Gotcha.
All the liqueurs are there for the flavor. The gin's just there to get you drunk.
Right.
Oh yeah, this one definitely goes on the date night menu because it's got no citrus in it, so it won't give Mrs. Angry heartburn. Oh, fuck, it's good. Okay, this is I've explained my scoring system to everyone. It's like if you get a cocktail, it's good and I don't regret it. That's like a 6 out of 10, but it's like, that was okay, but I'm probably, I'm probably not going to either make that again or buy that again in a hurry if it's when I get out. 7 out of 10, like, no, that's a genuinely good drink, I quite enjoyed that. 8 out of 10 is I'm definitely going to get that again. That was a good drink. Whether I made it or bought it, at some point I'm getting that one again because that's good. 9 out of 10, and I'd give this one a 9, I think. It's like, I probably want another one right now, actually.
It's that good.
I could drink. This is 8.5 to 9. This is very good. It's very good.
No.
Oh, well gifted Aspie's saying you reminded him of David Byrne, and if you record that song you were singing, he'll buy it. He'll get in line and buy it. There you go.
Once in a lifetime, and the water coming down.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. This is a large container house, a warehouse, basically a box. Who can say it isn't beautiful?
Yeah, so I think most people equate. We were talking about what does Liquor 43 taste like. Most people equate it to tasting like a rum with extra vanilla in it. So very, very pronounced vanilla flavor, and that's why I put it in the dessert drink. But vanilla being a good dessert flavor. Oh, now Charlie's going to get you a giant suit, AZ, so you can do a David Byrne impression properly.
I'll have to get my bottom dentures fixed. Do you know the hospital wants nothing to do with the bottom dentures?
Oh yeah, for those who don't, some people are saying, "Oh, your teeth different." It looks different because he's not wearing his bottom dentures because he dropped them and they broke, and so it makes the top dentures look a bit more pronounced. I
sent boss of the house with my dentures in a plastic bag to where I got them made for them to put them together.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh no, he's not here. We can't possibly do it." And I went, "Oh, okay." I'll rock up. And then I talked to the hospital here and said, I need a day trip out to the hospital to get my teeth fixed. And they were going, oh no, we couldn't possibly countenance that. We're not sending people with you, and we're not going to organise transport. I said, righto, I'll fucking get a tram with, oh no, my God, oh God, no, we can't have a tram. I'll get a fucking taxi with boss in the house.
Oh,
Boss in the
God.
house. We'll go down and I'll get the teeth done. It won't take long, and then I'll come back. Oh well, we're not interested in the liabilities of that, so
Yeah.
you'll just have to wait. And I'm going, you don't give a shit that I have no fucking ability to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That has been noted. And I did me Nana
Fair
this
enough.
morning. And I basically said, you guys have left me in injury pain for 2 nights. And you have, I went into our agreement in good faith, and you threw me under the bus. I actually feel betrayed, but I didn't say any of that. I just said you threw me under the bus, and I'm really angry, and I want you to basically put all these other drugs on my shelf. And knowing they wouldn't, but they did put 2 of them on. So I'm a lot happier about that.
Right. You're going to fight them.
And as long as I don't abuse it, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Right. Now my hands are all sticky because these liqueurs are really a bit sugary. And when I shook them and got them, I've just got to wash my hands because they're a little sticky.
Well, it is COVID-19 time, and you should wash your hands.
COVID-19.
Can you talk while you're washing your hands, or is that not a thing? What, viewers?
What are we doing, mate?
It's actually really hard to listen to stuff while water's running.
Yeah.
If you're washing your hands and your partner is trying to tell you something, you virtually can't hear a bloody word. All those spy bloody movies where they turn taps on, to stop bugging. I always thought it was just bullshit. No, it's a thing. It's a thing. I can't hear boss of the house yelling at me when I'm washing my hands.
That's fair.
Tiny little sink. And then I have to say, boss of the house, just wait for a sec. Just a sec, mate. Just a sec. I've got to come out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then he says something like, what is a turd making you stuck in there? And I go, that's unfair. If you've ever been constipated like I have, and you've dropped a 50 millimeter by 40 centimeter turd out of your ass, followed by 2 more, then you'll know the pain of giving birth out of your bottom. When you have a boss of the house laughing at you as this happens and saying, oh my God, there's M&Ms in it, I just have to lose my temper and say, why don't you pick them out and eat them then?
Oh no.
That didn't go down well. What also didn't go down well was the actual turds themselves.
Yeah.
Because I flushed the button and nothing. Happily, there was drainage. And I went, okay, come on, physics, let's do your thing. And I hit the button again and nothing. So I've gone, it's plunger time. And out came the plunger. And yay, success.
Yeah.
And then I went back later, pressed the button and filled up. And
it was a bit further down the pipe.
You are kidding me.
Yeah.
And so I've hit the button again going, this has got to be a thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it wouldn't move. And I've gone, right, I plunger in a full bowl. Plunge. And then it let go. And obviously it let go of a few things. And it went bang down the bowl. Yeah. And I could hear the pipes run from other flats
Yeah.
I could hear other flats. I had backed up the water into
Yeah.
other people's toilets.
Right.
And as soon as it went, and I refilled the pan to make the
Yeah.
smell go away, I
Yeah.
got a phone call going, "Oh, my toilet seems to be backed up." And I went, "Go and flush it again and see how it is now."
Yeah.
And she's gone, "Oh, it worked. How did you fix it?" "Oh, I have ways."
Magic. Magic.
So, magic caretaker.
Yeah.
With huge turds. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you Coloxal is your friend, and don't give birth out of your ass. It's
Yeah.
natural, and you
Ooh,
won't
brown
like it.
baby boy. Yeah. You know what you were saying about COVID and hand washing? Because the thing that came out, how long you should wash your hands is like 20 seconds, which is actually longer than people normally wash their hands with soap and water. And they said, oh, sing happy birthday twice, which is kind of boring. And lots of people came up with other things to count out the time.
Shit.
My personal favorite for timing your hand washing was the "Fear is the Mind Killer" mantra from Frank Herbert's Dune, because besides being the right length,
Just give me a second.
just the
I'm going
lyrics.
to try something.
Oh, what's he doing now? Oh, he's gone again. Not sure why he felt he had to do this. Stella, you feel like you shouldn't be listening to this story while eating dinner. I can absolutely understand that. I'm not exactly sure what AIDS he's doing or why he has this compulsion to push buttons that stop things from working that were previously working up until the point where he pushed buttons. But I think we can all agree he's doing quite well tonight. Like, he's back. Where is he? Where is he? Is he back?
Is my mic working?
Can you hear me?
Working? I'm going to
Can you hear me?
Reset.
Okay.
C is for a second.
C is for a second. Okay. Don't know what he's done. Yes, but I talked. Yeah, I think you're right, Annette. A little bit of ADHD, not being satisfied with things. Well, Gifted Dassby sing "I Am the Walrus." What you should do is "Fear is the Mind Killer" from Dune, because not only is it the right duration, but it's the right mindset. It's I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. That is also the right amount of time to wash your hand, but it's also a very good mantra for washing your hands. Okay, I am going to put this yolk. It's eggshell that's still got a yolk in it. I'm going to put it in compost, so I don't forget and leave it lying around. Will go and be part of Mrs. Angry's garden. Right, there's a tequila dessert cocktail to try. Lee, you have Asperger's and ADHD with synesthesia. AIDS, he definitely has Asperger's and ADHD. Don't think he has synesthesia. I'll have to ask him if and when he comes back. But I found a tequila dessert cocktail. Just need to rinse out my cocktail shaker in order to make it. So I'll just be over here, still talk to you, run a bit of water, rinse that, rinse that, rinse that. Princess, who is you? Just go right now. Okay. Way my brain works, it jumps between things. In case you didn't pick what I randomly was sort of singing there, I don't even know why, was the old Two Princes song by... Oh my God, I've blanked on what they were called. Who's going? Sialumi is a tired adult. Thank you for dropping by. Spin Doctors. They had their moment in the sun. They had an album. They had a couple hits. Album called Pocketful of Kryptonite. They did release a second album that kind of disappeared without a trace. I remember it being an article in The Onion where two politicians who were going for the same job, I might have been president, and one of them saying the other one is not fit to be president because his judgment is really bad, because he happens to know this guy actually bought the second Spin Doctors album. And like, we all bought the first album, you know, it was the zeitgeist, there was all the songs on it. But this guy actually bought their second album, which shows he has no judgment whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to try this tequila. Agave. Okay, so almost everything is going back on the shelf at this point. Okay, putting it away. We are possibly... Oh, that's weird. Why can't I put that back? It was there before. Maybe if I put it there for now. Oh, I'm possibly at the time of night where I shouldn't be trying complicated actions. Okay, put that there. That'll do. Put the orgeat back in the fridge. Go there for now. Put my gin back here. So what? Okay, tequila. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Tequila. Yes, I went the whole way. Okay, where is the Martels? Okay. So this is tequila, cognac, curacao, lime juice, and agave. Got agave. Got lime juice. A little bit of lime juice left. Go and buy some limes and juice them. Okay. So, try this one. I'm interested in a tequila dessert. A dessert tequila cocktail. Peter, you found a band called Antichrist Siege Machine. There you go. Annette, you got a yummy chocolate-covered cherry cocktail. That sounds good. That sounds very good. Charlie, you think Telly and Elmo were the two princes? That's fair enough. Oh, Annette, you want to get on the live stream? Sure. Okay. Copy. All right. Friday night, join the live stream, anyone who wants to. Okay. So, is it 2 ounces of tequila? That's a lot. 2 ounces of tequila and 1 ounce of the others. Okay. All right. So, got a sort of hip flask bottles. Someone gave this to me. Didn't actually buy this. Normally, if I'm going to buy booze, I'll buy the bigger bottles just for economy's sake. So 2 ounces of tequila. And here we go, here we go, here we go. 1 ounce of French cognac. Okay, Nettie. Where are we? There you are. Hey, Nettie.
Yeah,
Ooh, that looks good.
I'll just turn off you on the other thing. Okay, here we are. Chocolate covered cherry cocktail. Isn't it yummy looking?
Wow. That looks good. That looks good.
I did the fancy.
That's very fancy. Far fancier than anything I've been doing. So
I love these.
yeah,
I love them. It's
sounds good.
it's just got like a quarter of a shot of grenadine in it, and that's all it needs for the cherry taste. And then
Nice.
vodka and chocolate liqueur.
I have to do some more of my homemade because I run out. Might make some tomorrow actually, so I can have grenadine for some drinks tomorrow night. Okay, and I got to put some lime juice in here as well. Here for now.
I'm so proud of this. I can mix the glass.
No, that's yeah. No, that looks pretty good. That's a good effort. Right. Give this a bit of a shake. Gonna get nice and cold. There you go. Kirsten thinks your drink looks amazing. I agree.
Kirsten, come on the live stream.
Yes, I posted the link, so anyone who wants to can. Yeah, I think I'll do this one. Got a chilled glass.
I seem
please
to remember
join me.
Kirsten saying,
Hi, Lee.
Hello.
"Hi, Lee.
Hi.
All right.
Kirsten, come on here and talk gothery."
Talk gothery.
Mm.
All right, got to strain my drink.
We both used to be goths.
Ooh, that's fair. Ooh, just a bit of volume.
Oh yeah, I went down that path myself.
I think it's traditional for all Melbourne uni students, isn't it?
That's kind of fair.
Well, I wasn't even in uni. I was in high school.
Hey, Pete.
Oh, well, you were
How's
ahead
it
of the
going?
curve. Hello.
Hey, Pete.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
I got graded with a distinction overall at uni, so I'm pretty happy.
That is pretty good.
Nice.
Excellent work, mate. Oh, Kirsten's waiting for watching the sports ball. Apparently, that's too noisy. She can't join the live stream till after that's over. This doesn't really taste like tequila, which is quite interesting because it's got 2 shots of tequila in it. So
I'm getting through this too quickly.
What are you studying at uni, Lee?
Hey?
Oh, sorry, I just talked over. What are you studying at uni, Lee?
A bridging course into a Bachelor of Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
That's a long one. Very long name.
That's what she said. Sorry.
Apparently,
Mine's a
only
Bachelor of Arts.
25 people get into it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So they're pretty sure, and they're like, you're the right person. And I'm like, okay, I'll finish my foundation first.
All right. So this is supposed to be. This came up as a dessert drink. And it's like,
Does it taste of the like?
yeah. They call it tequila de leche, which is basically means candy tequila.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's very sweet. It is definitely very sweet. It's not bad. This is a classic that I would give a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10. I don't dislike it at all, but it's like it's good, but it's like it's not memorable. I'm not going like, ooh, this is something I want to repeat. Whereas most of the ones I made tonight were like at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. I lucked into trying some new recipes that were almost all really good. This is not bad, but it's like, okay. I don't regret making it, but I'm probably not going to rush to make it again.
So it's not bad, but it's not great either.
Yeah, 6.5 out of 10, I think.
Oh yeah, I've had a lot of food like that.
Yeah, I think most of our lives are about 6.5 out of 10. We just go, that's okay. You know what? It wasn't terrible. I'm just going to keep going. And every now and then you get 7 out of 10 days. Oh, and then you had an 8 out of 10 day, and you get to the end of the day like, well, that day was fucking great. And then, like Lee, you get your distinction award, and you're having a 9. I reckon that's a 9 out of 10 day. Getting something like that. That's a 9 out of 10 day right there.
Yeah.
I want more days like that. That's a good one.
Go put this away. I'm going to end up eating the glass.
Oh, no, don't do that.
I got some.
Get messy.
Yeah, that's the trouble when you do all the chocolate and stuff. It's like I just want to keep going and lick the glass and.
Minecraft keychains.
Another time. Isaiah, I'm busy.
Lee's getting a weird question about what.
I'm hungry.
Oh,
They're always hungry.
I'm hungry.
oh, wait till they're teenagers. Bottomless pits. Like young, he's not a teenager anymore. He's 20 now, and he's 6 foot tall, and he's just really lean. And I've just been in the kitchen, and it's like the pantry cupboard with snacks and food in there, and just see him going, and he's just like a predator going in there and going, ugh, what can I tear to pieces in the pantry? And it's like, okay, dude, it's like you're 20 and you're 6 foot, and you can consume massive amounts of calories and just keep being this bloody lean bloody thing, and I'm just turning into a huge blobby fat bastard in isolation.
You want marshmallow?
No. He asked me if I wanted a marshmallow.
That's nice. Wish someone would order it off me a marshmallow. So.
I don't know.
I found my packet of sugarless marshmallows broken into.
Yeah.
Been taken. Only one.
Yeah.
The rest have been left.
It's kind of like when young Mr. Hungary's gone to Costco with me and found out they sell these big bags of giant marshmallows, like each marshmallow is about this big.
Oh, yeah.
And if I mention I'm going to Costco, he's like, can you get the big bag of marshmallows? Like, if you were going to like put one in a cocktail, it would just be like, poof, it's like filling up the glass.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen Adrian that works at Costco in Docklands? That's my mum's twin.
Okay. That's weird. I used to, because Docklands was the first Costco in Melbourne, and that's where I signed up to be a Costco member at Docklands.
Me too.
Yeah, but now where I am, the one at Moorabbin Airport. Well, it's not at Moorabbin Airport. It's just past Moorabbin Airport. That's the closest to me now. Although every now and then, it's almost for old time's sake, I will go to the Docklands one because it's the second closest one to me. I think it's like 4. There you go. He's got a gold star in his Costco badge. Ooh, there you go. I've still got my original Costco membership, and it's so old. Like they've upgraded the cards now, and someone went to like scan my card for something, and it wouldn't work. And they were like, "What?" And then they're looking at the card and go, "God, how long have you had this card?"
Actually, yeah, just
I'll try to show it because it's got a dot matrix photo of me on it.
Wow.
It won't show up at all. But it's got like there's like a dot matrix photo of me on it. It's such old technology. Yeah, it's so small it won't show up on the camera. But there's this weird dot matrix photo of me on the card. And yeah, when the person realized I just had a really fucking old membership card, I was like, "Oh, you can put it to a new one if you like." And they're like, "No, it's okay. It still works. It's fine. Don't worry." He's like, "Okay, you just made me really self-conscious that I have a very old Costco card from the first Costco in Melbourne, but
I grew up in Bundaberg, and I remember when it was a really big deal when we got an Aldi.
Yes.
And it was a really sort of like exotic thing at the time. And I was working in IGA at the time, and pretty much everyone applied to go there because you got to sit down and you didn't have to pack bags.
Oh yeah,
and got paid more to do so as well.
The thing they do at Aldi is just throw your stuff down, and you're madly trying to pack it yourself as they throw it at you, and it's like Costco's a bit. Well, Costco, you're just putting it back in the trolley because you don't have a bag. But same deal. But yeah, Aldi is a bit stressful when they're like hurling stuff down at you, and you're trying to get it in the bag quickly enough that you don't hold up the line.
It's so much better from a cashier's point of view. It's
Absolutely.
a lot of bullshit you don't have to do.
I love that. Luke's asked who's playing sports ball, and Kirsten's answer is an orange and stripy team. So that's about as much attention as I pay to it as well, I have to admit. The funny thing, like, being in Melbourne where Australian rules football is basically a religion, I don't pay much attention to it at all. But in a normal world, like not the fucking weird COVID world that we're living in now, particularly if someone from overseas visits in winter, I would take them to a game at the MCG because it's a fucking experience. Going to the MCG with a big crowd just going nuts for this game is a really interesting experience to give an international visitor. Like, I don't give a shit about who wins or what happens, but it's just the experience of being in the crowd who's going, wow.
You know, I still haven't done that.
When WWE toured and they had their big show at the MCG, I went to that one, and it was an experience as well, just being in a stadium that large.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, hey, Nettie, if next winter's normal, I'll go to a game with you so you get the experience.
Okay.
Because it is, I don't give a shit about the games, but it's the experience of being there in the crowd. And I don't know, I think a night game is even better than a day game. Something about the lights and everything.
Agree on that one.
Yeah, it's a real experience. Safa's an Aldi expert. What, are you an expert as a shopper or a cashier, Safa? An expert shopper or an expert cashier? I guess what's interesting is because Aldi has cheap booze, and most people say the Aldi cheap booze actually tastes pretty good. I haven't really tried it, but most people say their gin and their whiskey and their vodka actually tastes pretty good, but I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'd rather drink Starbucks than that stuff, and I don't like Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because it's American.
This is terrible.
Oh.
Even my mother hates it. They can't do a cup of tea right. Jesus.
So I'm still in Queensland, so I'm not used to this idea of alcohol being in an Aldi still.
Oh, right. Okay. Is that the law in Queensland? Okay.
Yeah, it's basically like it's still incredibly easy to find booze because there's bottle shops everywhere. But like going to a grocery store to get booze is like a bit of a foreign concept here.
Well, apparently Americans thinks it's weird that we have a booze section in some supermarkets, but they sell booze in a fucking 7-Eleven in America.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. You think a supermarket's weird, but you're selling it at a 7-Eleven. Okay. Okay, Kirsten, who is a gin aficionado, says Aldi had a couple of great international gins recently, which is interesting. Stella said she was at Ben Cousins' last game, Richmond versus West Coast, and the crowd was just fucking thunderous every time he ran onto the field. Yeah, people like events. If they know it's someone's big's last game, I think I saw Barry Round's last game for the Sydney Swans at the SCG. That was like in the 80s or early 90s. That's how old I am. Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'm related to Des Tottenham,
Oh, there you go.
and I asked my pop, I'm like, "How's Des Tottenham doing?" He's like, "Don't ask."
Ooh, I'm going to try another. I don't know why I'm still drinking, but I am. Another cocktail that's on the Twofold Whiskey site. I'm going to do a slight variation on the one they call a Rusty Bayonet, which is the whiskey, yellow chartreuse, lemon juice, lemon syrup, Maiden dry vermouth. I'm going to do the Twofold whiskey. I'm going to do Ochre Gold instead of yellow chartreuse, and I've got my homemade lemon syrup that I'm going to put in, and I've got Maiden Classic. So, I'm going to do that. My version of a Rusty Bayonet.
I was thinking earlier that there should be more cocktails with more like heavy metal type names. Rusty Bayonet works pretty well, but something along the lines of Antichrist Siege Machine would be amazing.
Oh,
Yes, I think there should be an Antichrist Siege Machine cocktail. That's a thing that should exist. I don't know what's in it, but it should exist. Right, I've got to put a few things back. I'm still
Rusty Bayonet. It must have a lot of whiskey in it.
Yes. I think whiskey's a fairly metal beverage. Whiskey's a fairly metal beverage to put in a thing.
Yeah.
So
there was a big furor after Lemmy from Motorhead had passed to rename a Jack and Coke a Lemmy.
That's fair. Jack and Coke, call it a Lemmy, yeah.
Oh, there is one thing from the 90s or the early 2000s. Who let the dogs out? They wouldn't tell us who let the dogs out. Maybe it was the Who or Roger Daltrey from the Who let the dogs out.
Yeah. They asked a question, but they never answered it.
Well, apparently, Who don't like Australians that much.
Oh, yeah?
Who?
Yeah, like, okay then.
Who doesn't like Australians?
The Who.
Oh, the Who.
Roger Daltrey called it the convicts.
All right. All right. I got to try this one.
Oh, well.
What's
I
this?
think it's time for another cocktail.
Lemon juice. Okay. I'm going to put this one back in the freezer and chill it for a sec. Okay. So, going to shake. All right. This one. Put that open. Okay, that worked. Not.
Ooh, okay, Stella explained why they don't like Australians, because we kicked them out.
Did we?
Apparently.
All right. Well, you didn't like Australians. Frank Sinatra, because when Frank Sinatra toured here, I don't know, he's being his normal obnoxious self, and he said who did he insult? Possibly Qantas flight attendants.
Oh,
And
no.
so then the unions, because he had insulted their fellow union members from Qantas, they refused to stage his show. And Frank Sinatra was then just going, well, I'll just leave the fucking country then. And it's like, oh, no, now the airline unions are refusing to fuel any plane that you're on. You have to apologize because you've upset everyone.
Call me party called Frank Sinatra's party. So who's at Frank Sinatra's party? Not me.
And there was a movie that dramatized it as well. Dennis Hopper played Frank Sinatra in it. But that whole story just cracks me up, that he was so rude that the unions are like, well, we're not going to stage your show. And he's fine, I'll just leave the fucking country. And the airline unions went, yeah, we're not going to fuel any plane that you're on. It's like, you have, and he was basically under siege in his hotel. And someone had to convince him that, no, you've just got to apologize, man. You've just got to apologize. And Frank Sinatra was fairly opinionated and was not keen on the idea of apologizing. But it's a pretty funny story.
It's a bit like John Howard.
Oh, those are the days, weren't they? When the unions had that kind of power.
70s, man. Okay.
I remember the 80s, you know, you could, like, it was always a toss-up whether you could get to school or not on the trains.
Because
they would have a train strike or not.
Oh, okay. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I get out of bed to the tram stop I had. Melbourne tram. Do. I got that song stuck in my head now. I actually know that.
All right. So I'm gonna shake. Oh, wait, everyone's lining up to get in. Kirsten and Charlie. Oh, the fucking game here.
Hello.
Everyone's here now.
Hi.
It's the Brady Bunch. I fucking love it. All right.
I thought there was another Queenslander in.
Yeah. Hello.
I like Queenslanders. They're good people.
Yeah. Okay, Kirsten, you've got to like tell your bosses.
Not all Queenslanders are good.
Royal Starwood.
I know.
My second Starwood cocktail for the night. So
Yeah, I'll send the marketing director your cocktail channel.
All right, I forgot my glass. I got the ice.
So I can't say anything controversial from now on.
But okay, I remember talking earlier. Are there any actual other Australian whiskies on the market?
Oh yeah, there's tons.
Yeah? There's tons. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously Lark Distillery, they're the founding, like Bill Lark got the laws changed so it's allowed to distill.
Yeah.
Because up until 1992, it was illegal to distill liquor unless you were Bundaberg or a couple of places producing ethanol.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
so exclusionist.
So there were 5 distilling licenses. And so Bill Lark, who is known as the whiskey grandfather,
Yeah.
in 1992, was like, I'd really like to make scotch, but in Tasmania. And so he founded a distillery. He lobbied the government to get the laws changed. They changed the laws, and everyone was like, Bonza, let's make booze.
Yep. Excellent.
And so lots of distilleries, lots of Australian whiskies made in Tasmania. So Lark, Overeem, McHenry. Yeah, there's about 30 whiskey distilleries in Tasmania and probably about 100 whiskey-specific distilleries in, like, the mainland.
Okay. But and this is okay, not just sort of being nice to Kirsten because that's who she works for, but Starwood are the ones who win all the awards and
Yeah, we just came home with another bunch.
yeah, from another international competition.
The like whiskey competition to win is the San Francisco International Spirits Awards, and our Christmas release, which is called Tawny, won double gold, which means that it was awarded a gold medal by every single one of the judges.
Ooh.
So it's incredible. Like, it is definitely top of my list of releases that we've done recently.
Is that the equivalent to Simon Cowell pressing the golden buzzer?
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It is the whiskey equivalent.
And then
by the way. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Michael.
Legally. Hi.
Yeah, and then our Nova and Twofold both got gold.
Mm.
Pretty amazing. And I'm pretty sure that this is the third or fourth time that Nova's won.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So 1 gold.
I got the twofold because when I was talking about I want one for cocktails, Kirsten recommended the twofold, and it's really nice. And by the way, whoever on the website, and because this one actually comes from the twofold website, put the recipe for a rusty bayonet up. My only variation was changing yellow chartreuse to ochre gold. This is fucking great. This is really.
I sit next to that girl in the office, so I'll let her know.
Oh, this is good. Just the balance of sweetness and lemon in this is fucking great.
What have you got?
Sorry?
I was there for the recipe development session. It was bad.
That's a perk of working there. Like I remember I worked for National Foods who make a range of yogurts and milks and whatnot, and they would test new flavors on the staff. It was like a perk of working there. You do taste testing of flavored milks and yogurts. Taste testing whiskey cocktails is a slightly better perk, I have to admit.
I also used to work at National Foods, except by the time I worked for them, they weren't called National Foods, they were called Lion Dairy and Drinks. And I worked in the warehouse, and we used to have what is known as Free Cheese Friday, where they would bring the free cheese up front, and we could take as much of it as we could fit in our car.
Yeah. Yeah. We had I worked in the office, which was just near St Kilda Road, and there was just fridges full of like Yoplait and the different flavour thing. And what? So, Charlie, what were you drinking, by the way? I saw you having a cheeky sip.
This is Muscat with lime and tonic water.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Muscat. Yum. I think I've Muscat for ages.
Hat tip to Stella, who remembered the fucking Sinatra debacle got solved by Bob Hawke, who was head of the ACTU at the time, getting shit-faced drunk with Sinatra and convincing Sinatra to apologize. That was the topper of that whole story. That's how it got resolved.
That's awesome. That's
That's
the Australia I grew up with.
Yeah.
You know the Bayonet ads with that Irish guy?
Yes.
I've actually met that Irish guy because I used to work for Bayonet in their headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a pretty good guy. I also met the guy that used to own Bayonet.
Oh, cool. Oh, Luke wants to know what you're drinking, Pete. What are you drinking?
Oh, it is just Maker's Mark.
Maker's
with
Mark.
a bit of Pepsi Max. So I'm really betraying my uncultured Queensland ways in having the least fancy drink.
Yeah. No, Maker's Mark is a nice drop.
Maker's
It
Mark
is.
is great whiskey.
Mm.
And what I really love about it is that each of those red waxes is hand dipped.
Yep. You were explaining this to me because one of the ones I bought that you recommended, Kirsten, had that same wax tip. And I'm going, it's not wax, it's plastic. It's bloody impossible to get off. But it is. And you were telling me Maker's Mark basically invented that.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So each Maker's Mark bottle is slightly unique because the pattern of that wax on the seal will be slightly different because they're hand dipped.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yep.
And,
Ooh, what's that one, Kirsten?
this is betraying my goth roots.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
A wonderful gin from Melbourne.
Death Gin. Okay.
Really love it. It's really good.
I managed to sew on a big back patch on my vest. I think people may appreciate it. So.
Oh yeah, I want to see it.
We would love to see it. This is the one that you were struggling with, Angry. Applewood.
Which one is it? Applewood. Oh yeah, Applewood had the seal that took me for ages. Oh, nice. All cats are beautiful.
That's amazing.
Aw.
Oh,
Neat.
It may ACAB may also share some initials with another popular saying as well.
I found a paste up in a laneway of Clancy Wiggum from The Simpsons with a knife through his head, and the slogan was "All Clancys are bastards." But oh, Charlie's the first person to bring a cat on tonight! Yay!
Nice.
So cute.
And yes, I are the ones I won't do email anymore because they're owned by TPG.
TPG was my first ISP, like back in the 90s. They were one of the first commercial ISPs, and that was the first lot I signed up with. I've been with Telstra stupid for ages, but
Oh well, Telstra. Oh dear. Actually, I've got a story behind Telstra. Well, somebody actually tried to steal my identity.
Oh, that's not good.
And they tried to order a Telstra thing under a plan, an expensive plan. And they're like, I don't have a Telstra account currently. And then Telstra like, actually, he does. This is fraud. So I had to go to the Telstra store this week and actually prove that on me and that I didn't ask for a plan.
Oof.
And I discovered someone who had one of those RFID scanners that stole, that used one of my cards, that scanned my card that I had at the time. And believe it or not, with these RFID card stealers, card scanners, you can get people's date of birth, their name, their address.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, card skim is pretty wild. Well, Megalich is saying he's been trying a Japanese slipper, Midori, orange liqueur, and lemon juice. That sounds like a nice bevo.
Ah, Stella, I know
That
your
sounds
cat-
acidic.
Your cats are earning their keep. But
they're mouse hunting and
Experiment.
torturing. Yeah.
What should I do with this?
What is
What
it?
should I do with this? Bailey's.
Baileys.
It's a cute little Bailey's bottle.
There's a million things you can do with Baileys.
I know, but I don't want to think. I want someone else to tell me. I'm sick of thinking.
What else do you have?
Hey?
What else do you have?
Oh, lots of stuff.
Yeah,
But I have milk and vodka, and I have sugar-free Coke and lots of things.
Yeah, I'd
That's
probably
Scotch?
go like milk,
I
vodka.
have Scotch.
Ooh,
That's a thing.
Ooh, is it?
I'd probably go Scotch.
Well, it's
and
a thing my
Baileys.
mum does.
Yeah.
That'll do.
The way you laugh then, Charlie, that's like there's some scary family stories to tell about.
It's like, no.
There's got some good memories there. The old Scotch and Baileys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've put her on the spot now.
we let it go, Charlie. You don't have to say anything.
I don't think I will. That's probably her response. It's
Plead the fifth. You do not have to incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Good for that, aren't they? Oh, I've got one.
Yeah. My cats are not my cats. They're my wife's cats.
All right. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, they're still nice to me and all that stuff. But, yeah.
I was disappointed because I went out on a walk earlier, and there's a absolutely gorgeous orange cat that occasionally greets me when I'm there, and I couldn't find him today. But,
Oh no, your favorite cat wasn't there. That's not good.
he's very finicky. He sort of comes and goes as he does, but every time he pretty much lays down in front of me and insists that I give him a pat. So
Yeah.
That's a big lot of knitting there, Kirsten.
It's not knitting, it's crochet.
Crochet.
That's a lot of
Close
crochet.
enough.
Yeah, I'm making a queen size blanket.
Got cat hair on my
Ooh.
face.
Oh, no.
The worst part.
I have cat hair over all my clothes. It's like mostly from
Everywhere.
ginger and white. So there's like really noticeable hairs on all my black t-shirts. And every now and then when I go into like my cupboard in the mysterious darkness to get like a singlet or a shirt, I put my hand in there and there's something warm and hairy in there. I was like, what the hell is that? It's usually Shadow, who's grey, so I don't see her in sort of the darkness of the cupboard. I go in to get a t-shirt or a singlet and she gets really affronted because I don't know she's there, and I just like jam my hand in and grab her and I'm sort of like, what's that? And she's like, man, you're in my fucking shirt cupboard. What am I going to do? All right.
I mostly wear
Right,
black.
I found it.
When we get cats, we just have to get black cats. My sister also
Yes.
owns black and acquired herself a white cat, and that was a bad
Yeah.
idea.
No.
Oh
Most
dear.
of my t-shirts are black and they're all covered in cat hair. That's really noticeable. So it's like,
Apparently, black cats are the most abandoned cats from animal shelters as well.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if you can adopt a black cat, that's always a good thing.
the superstition of black cats, although their favor increased when the Black Panther movie came out because everyone wanted to get a black kitten and call it T'Challa. And
I've been watching Sabrina lately, so I'm very predisposed towards getting a cat called Salem.
yeah. Yes, Sabrina fans get one called Salem. Marvel fans get one. If what was T'Challa's sister's name in Black Panther?
Something.
I'm going to look it up. Black Panther.
My sister has a black cat called Shadow and a white cat called Milkshake. And
Oh,
I'm
that- Shuri. Okay, yeah, that's it. When people get
unoriginal
get-
with the naming of children.
adopt a black cat, if it's a male, they call it T'Challa, and if it's female, they call it Shuri. So, and I'm not kidding. Shelters who've always said, yeah, we can't. It's very hard to get people to take black cats because they're superstitious about bad luck. But since Black Panther came out, everyone wants a black kitten, and if it's a boy, they call it T'Challa, and if it's a girl, they call it Shuri. So, my cat's grey and it's Shadow, and I found out everyone who has a grey cat calls it Shadow. So it's like,
We had a grey cat called Digger when we were children. So,
that's cool.
but the cat came with the name, so we just kept it.
We used to just call all our cats Fred when I was growing up. We had
So
it would be
deep-
different sort of moggies that
As opposed to Romana.
yeah. Oh, Charlie with the Doctor Who nerdology right there. Nice. For those who don't know, in Tom Baker's reign, about his third companion was a Time Lord whose name was Romana.
Romana Dvorak Rolunda.
There you go, Charlie. Fucking
I remember that.
I
the
love
doctor says,
Romana.
I remember that.
I don't. I'll just call you Romana. I'll never be able to call your name out when danger happens. It's either Romana or Fred. And she said, I prefer Fred. And the doctor says, cool, you're Romana. And
Yes, like a jelly baby.
dick.
Oh, I just had a USB and I called it a jelly baby.
All right.
I had a rat that I named Basil specifically after the Faulty Towers episode. Basil the rat.
Yeah, Basil the rat.
He was a good rat too.
That brilliant moment in that scene where, because neither Polly nor Manuel are wanting to admit to Basil that he has a pet rat that's running around, and Polly's trying to attract the rat with a bit of cheese, and she's under the table going, Basil, 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 and Faulty hears her doing it and realizes what has happened, that they've called the rat Basil, and he just goes, yes, and there's this bang as Polly's head hits the table. It's one of the funniest moments.
Oh man,
because
reminds me of Life of
and
Brian.
then she tries to pretend the rat's not named Basil, and she's and he's going, "Oh, that's for me, is it?" And she's going, "Yes."
Oh, I remember Life of Brian. I enjoyed watching that.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. 40 hours.
Let-
I'm going to have to put that on the kids during holidays.
I
40
think
hours.
hardcore Python fans prefer the Life of Brian, but I prefer the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail just
The Holy Grail
the
is
Holy
so
Grail
good.
cracks me up.
Yeah, I think I prefer that too, actually, to be honest.
It's so silly. The Holy Grail. Arguably, The Life of Brian is a better script and a better constructed movie, but The Holy Grail is just so silly. I love it so much. The Holy Grail is so
The
stupid.
Holy Grail is only funny to people who were raised in religious households. Non-religious
That's
don't
a
get
fair
it.
call, Kirsten.
I
Yeah, my
was
kids
raised
don't
in
quite get it either. They're not, I mean, they've gone to Catholic school, but they still don't quite get it.
Yeah. Well,
I did watch recently. There was there's a page that I follow that they used to run events here in Brisbane, but they've been doing online screenings of just like really terrible movies. And the latest one was The Last Dragon, which is a Bruce Lee black exploitation film. It's essentially like a story of a young kid called who goes by the nickname Bruce Leroy, who's growing up in Harlem, and it's so fucking good. I just 100% recommend. It was made in the 80s. It was apparently there's rumors that Samuel L. Jackson wants to remake it, and I need that to fucking happen because it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Everything you just said both causes me pain and is the best thing ever.
Oh, I remember when Samuel L. Jackson read "Go the F to Sleep."
Yes, Samuel L. Jackson reading "Go the Fuck to Sleep" was so good.
I'm super Australian, though. I prefer the Noni Hazelhurst version.
Yeah,
Noni Hazelhurst was fucking good.
Noni Hazelhurst saying "Go the fuck to sleep" is just the most pure thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd have to
admit, she's pretty good.
I didn't know that
Yes,
she did
that's
it.
why it was so crazy that she did this.
Yeah.
I'm
She
sure it's on
a whole
YouTube,
bunch of
Lee.
films, and she did Play School as well.
I have to find it.
She was like
Yes, but there
that
was
sort
a
of
whole thing
like
about how before she
90s
was in
mum.
play school, she was in a movie where she got her tits out.
Monkey Grip. Yeah, Monkey Grip had really full on. She was like fucking a junkie rock star in Monkey Grip. And then after Monkey Grip, she did Play School, which was just fucking hilarious. But it's kind of like what's her name? Who was in Animal Kingdom? She was the grandma in Animal Kingdom.
Fuck. I can picture her as clear as day. She's brilliant as well. I love her.
The movie or the TV series, because the movie and the TV series, like the TV series is something else.
Yeah.
Like it's
The American one or the
I haven't
Australian?
watched the TV series yet, but the film is one of my all-time favorite films. Like the acting, the cinematography, the sound. It's just technically such a good film. The story's brilliant. The acting's brilliant. The cinematography's brilliant. The sound design is brilliant. And it's like an Australian crime family movie. And Jackie Weaver.
Yes.
She's an absolute legend of
As
Australia.
I love Jackie Weaver.
Research.
And that's the film that brought her to the attention of Hollywood, because she's made a few Hollywood films in the 10 years since Animal Kingdom. But for those who don't know, it's 10 years old, so fucking spoiler alert, okay? If you haven't watched the film yet, you should. But basically, she is the matriarch of a crime family. And she loves her sons. She kisses them on the lips. It's a bit fucking weird. But she disowned her daughter, who was kind of fucked up by the whole thing. Her daughter was a junkie. Her daughter actually dies of a drug overdose. And so the son, Jackie Weaver's grandson, he's about 18, when his mum dies, he goes back to his grandma. And so she takes him into the fold, like, yes, your mum was on the outs, but you're one of my boys now. And so he's now immersed in this crime family, and his uncles are all fucking psychopaths. And his grandma is scary as fuck. And there's this one scene where she decides she can no longer trust her grandson. She thinks her grandson is going to rat them out, and he basically is. But she goes to this cop who's met the grandson, and she basically tells the cop he has to kill her grandson to protect the family. She doesn't say it because that would be bad if she said it, but she makes it clear she wants this cop, this crooked cop, to kill her grandson. And the creepiest fucking line in all of history, when this cop is like really affronted by the idea that she's telling him to kill her own grandson. Why would I do that? And she just goes, I know some stuff, doll. You've done some terrible stuff, doll. And I'm like, oh, you are the scariest fucking person in all of history. She is blackmailing a crooked cop into killing her own grandson because she knows how dirty this cop is, because this dirty cop and her sons have been working together for like a day. And just the way she gets, oh, you've done some terrible stuff, doll. And it's like, you are the scariest. It's this granny just saying to a cop, you've done some terrible stuff, doll. And she is the scariest fucking person in all of history.
I remember seeing an interview with her. There was an interview with her where she was saying that there's a whole bunch of people that only know her for her Hollywood work and have no idea that she's Australian as well.
Yeah.
And like to us, it's like she's a fucking legend. Everyone knows Jackie Weaver.
Yeah, she is, and she's a fucking legend. But yeah, Animal Kingdom was a breakthrough. People saw that in America, and they looked at her and went, "Who the fuck is this?" Because it's this movie about a bunch of male criminals, and this grandma controls the entire film, and you're just going, how is that possible? Like, it's got fucking Mendo in it. Mendo's going Mendo in this film.
It's based on the Moran family.
Yeah, it is loosely based on the Moran family, yeah. And it's got fucking Joel Edgerton. Joel Edgerton is really good in it. Ben Mendelsohn is going the full fucking Mendo in his role. And when Mendo goes the full Mendo, no one can stand against him except Jackie fucking Weaver, who is a grandma, and she is the scariest fucking person. She's terrifying. The fact that grandma can just go to a corrupt cop and go, I know shit about you. You have to go kill my grandson. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Did that came out during the...
On the other hand, Jackie Weaver is one of the nicest people that has ever walked on the face of the earth.
Yes, Jackie Weaver is so nice.
Delight.
Yeah.
He's just a delight.
Yeah. Maybe now's a bad time to say I know someone, but I don't actually know him all that well.
A Moran?
No.
I met someone who was apparently a nephew of Ivan Milat. So,
Oh, wow.
Any family connection can't be worse. Yeah, he took a while to warm up to let that known, but yes, he is apparently related.
The whole Millet family are fucking crazy. That was the weirdest thing, because the cops wanted to put Ivan Milat away So they had to pretend that the rest of his family weren't involved in the killings, even though they knew they were. And because if they're able to put reasonable doubt in a jury's mind about Ivan Milat's guilt, this fucking psychopathic murderer will get off. So they had to pretend, no, the rest of the family were nothing to do with it, even though the rest of the family were fucking involved.
You know, I had a friend who was working at the prison when he turned up before he actually finished his case in court, and he saw him walk into the yard, and he's like, "He did it." This guy walked into the fucking prison yard like he owned the place.
No, he's a bad man.
No one.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of a party I went to. Some guy's like, "I'm McGhetto's hitman." I'm like, "No, you're not. You talk too much."
Yeah.
You just know when it's Melbourne, so people do make things up like this.
Yeah, but like as soon as he walked into the yard, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's done it. He's done every one of them." Yeah.
Yeah. No. He's a bad man.
And about 6 that nobody knows about.
Yeah. No
one walks into prison like they own the place ever, unless they're
So I love the Wolf Creek movies because it's like the killer in Wolf Creek is a hybrid of Ivan Milat and the guy from the Northern Territory who grabbed that UK couple, and it's just like the guy who plays the killer in Wolf Creek, he's another legend of Australian entertainment. He's been in everything for 40 years, and he becomes famous after doing everything you can think of. He becomes famous for playing a serial killer, and it was just like, okay.
Do you know what? Like years and years ago on the internet, I realized that Americans didn't realize that Eric Bana was a funny bugger.
Oh,
yeah.
So I started showing them, like, you know, Poida. And shit like that. They're just like, whoa, this is the Hulk guy?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Americans found out about him after the Chopper movie. And I have to admit, when I heard the thing, Eric Bana's being cast to play Chopper? Really? He was a comedian. And but his Chopper was so good. He was so good as Chopper. And he's got, okay, this guy's great. Like, I fucking love Eric Bana.
As someone who's met the actual Chopper, I can guarantee you Eric Bana does play a pretty good Chopper.
Yeah.
What I love is Eric Bana was basically playing the fictional version of Chopper that Chopper represented himself as in his books. Chopper's books were just silly, and he put all and so Chopper was not really Banner was not really playing the real person, Mark Brandon Reed. Banner was really playing Chopper's fictionalized, idealized version of himself. And
yeah, but you wouldn't you? On set, watching everything you do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's
myself in a way because I used to want to make people think that I'm this multi-millionaire when I'm actually not. I mean, that was one thing that really hit me hard after I got hit by a car. I was just like, it's no use being pretend.
Yeah.
And
Does anyone listen to Chopper's rap album by any chance?
What?
Pete, no, I did not listen to Chopper's rap album.
I didn't know he had one.
I made it through about a minute and a half before switching it off because it's fucking awful. It's so fucking bad.
That's everyone's homework for the week.
I think Macho Man's rap album is better than Chopper's, and Macho Man's is fucking atrocious. It's it's so awful.
Better or worse than when Dee Dee Ramone tried to be a rapper?
Oh, I haven't heard that, but I bet
that
it's
was pretty
fucking
bad.
awful.
Dee
Dee's great on a bass, strumming, but yeah. I don't want to
Very
hear
good
that.
songwriter, but not a good rapper.
Oh no! I'm
Oh boy.
feeling sort of
There's
like
I'm
a
going to
very-
change the topic because Invisible Chin has asked for a recommendation of a good starter for Starward. So,
yes,
putting a brand representative hat on.
yes.
Do, but anyway, here we are. It depends what you like. So we've got sort of two. We have a single malt range and our blended dual double grain range. So the twofold is a combination of wheat whiskey and malt whiskey that's blended together. So it's a really soft, sweet, like honey note.
Yeah.
And then our single malt, which we distill on site and mature fully in red wine barrels, has this real like red fruits and chocolate flavor. So if you like a single malt, I would say start with the Starward Nova. Has a really good, delicious, like berry note from the wine barrels. But the Starward Twofold is an excellent all-round daily drinker, is what we like to say. It's really good cocktails. It stands up. It's really drinkable on its own. It's delicious mixed with tonic as an alternative to a gin and tonic. So actually all of our whiskies are really good mixed with tonic, which is a very different thing to say, but yeah. I'm pretty passionate about the Starward range and I'm happy to talk about it ad nauseum, so I'll stop.
Good. You should be positive about it.
Yeah.
The Starward Twofold, definitely, I'm thumbs up for. Very easy to.
Remember when I was growing up and I was like to my Irish grandfather, I was trying to play tough, and he's like, "Are you tough? Are you really?" This was me as a teenager, and I'm like, "Oh, I think I'm tough." And he's just like, "Okay," sat me down and try this. Gave me Bushmills Black Bush, and I basically drank it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is actually really strong." I'm not tough.
Yeah.
I'm just a nerd. He's like, "That's okay, Lee. You can be a good nerd. You can be a nerd and you can be tough as well, but you're just trying to play macho when that's not a good idea." I'm like, "Okay, Pop."
It's a good lesson for life, right? Don't drink things you want to. Very much like Angry's recommended the whiskey channel, the Whiskey Tribe, a few times.
Yeah.
I them and they say all whiskey is good as long as you like drinking it. And if you don't like it, that's also okay.
The best whiskey is the whiskey that you like to drink.
Yeah. So for me, that's Starward over everything else because
I've never tried it.
It's the most approachable.
Easy drinking. For easy drinking, like a really smooth, easy drink, the Starward Twofold is really nice.
On special
I
and
knocked
Dan.
my fucking cocktail shaker over. Got to start again. Ugh, clean up. The kitchen's going to smell like fucking booze, for fuck's sake. Okay, in one world, that means I wouldn't try to remake the cocktail that I just knocked over. But fuck that nonsense. All right, I'm going to do it again. What is this? Okay.
What are you making?
Suddenly I'm pouring stuff.
It's a mystery.
You've been talking about it. It's calling to you.
Fuck it. I'll just make another Starward cocktail. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? No. This is all right. I'm gonna make another fucking rusty bayonet because that was really good. All right, Starwood.
Enjoy the addition of the ochre gold. That'll be great.
Yeah, because I don't have I have green chartreuse. I don't have yellow chartreuse. Ochre Gold, an Australian liqueur, very good substitute for yellow chartreuse.
Okay, Luke Morford's mentioning Andrews. I don't know why.
He
What is
posted something to the Facebook, Chopper's rap song.
Oh, Chopper's rap song on Facebook.
We can check on your Facebook.
Ugh.
I don't know. I think it's so terrible. I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. Well, hey, you're talking to someone who bought Mark Jacko Jackson's 12-inch remix of I'm an Individual. And not only that, but also bought his follow-up single that like no one bought. And I still have them. They're in a box somewhere with the rest of my vinyls. I'm an individual. You can't fool me. An individual. You can't. Jacko was such a funny person. I loved him.
I kind of describe Chopper's music as kind of the same way as when you like taste something horrible and you go, "That's disgusting. You have to try this."
Yes.
It's kind of that kind of. It's like you need someone. In philosophy, they call it phenomenology, which is basically you verifying your experience through other people. And it's basically you just need someone to verify that this is as fucking bad as you initially thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like I took someone to Starbucks just to tell them, and they were like, "This is not coffee." I'm like, "Yeah, I told you."
I feel like I passed through some weird fucking portal because I was making a cocktail with rum and whatnot, which I knocked over and had to clean up. But in front of me are all the ingredients for the Starwood Rusty Bayonet, not for the rum cocktail. And it's like, okay, I actually don't understand how that happened, but I'm going to have another Starwood Rusty Bayonet instead of the rum cocktail I was going to have. I don't know what
Starwood mind control that we've been putting into the whiskey.
Some fucking Starwood witchcraft is happening here.
Lots of fluoride.
Fluoride.
The head blender who sits near me, and he said, someone asked him, how do you make whiskey? And he said it's 90% black magic. So
yeah,
bit of that black magic.
Mm.
Hey, did you guys hear about the Nazi Satanists or the Satanist Nazis?
Not specific.
Which ones?
I listen to a lot of
Like
black
in
metal,
general?
so you're going to have to be more specific.
Okay, there was they're the Order of the Nine Angels. And they are, I don't know, they seem to want to be serial killers. And they, as you do, and they got one of their guys to infiltrate the military, join, and he gave them,
as Nazis tend to do.
He gave them lots of information on his unit so that they could kill his unit. This is in America just this week.
Jesus. Okay.
So
they have a real problem with Nazis and white supremacists in the military and law enforcement in the US.
It's almost as if some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses.
Yay! Yeah. I see what you did there, Pete.
Nazis give Satanists a bad name.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think I saw a meme with someone going like, "Oh, I grew up and I used to be into Rage Against the Machine, but that first, that first song was really juvenile and shallow in its politics. But now, 10 years later, I go, wait, some of those who work forces are the same as those Who burned crosses?
I could go on a huge rant, particularly about like people who absolutely insist that metal should be apolitical, and I just like and like it's this whole like shitty argument of you should totally tolerate Nazis because of the free marketplace of ideas and things like that. But it's just like the first fucking metal band that the first
Nazi
fucking
fun,
metal
fuck
band that
off.
everyone recognizes as being metal wrote a song called fucking War Pigs. Like, how do you that was a very left-leaning message, and it's like, you know, and all metal rests on a foundation of black music as well. If you do not recognize that, then you are a fuckwit, and I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, metal owes so much to the blues and black music overall. It's
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I just noticed actually that Shannon everyone's on Facebook. Everyone's on YouTube. Shannon's on Facebook. About 5 minutes said hello. If you're still there, Shannon, hello. I just noticed that 5 minutes ago you said hello. I've been just kind of occupied with cocktails, so finer details in life are eluding me right now. So I was like,
Invisible Chicken doesn't drink coffee, so Invisible Chicken likes Starbucks.
Invisible Chicken likes Starbucks. That's fair.
No,
I mean,
that's not.
Okay.
I drink hot chocolate. I don't drink, like, if I ever meet people in cafes. Ooh, Mimsy's come in to say hello. Come up here and say hello to everyone.
Kitty time.
tell her I think she's beautiful.
She is
Little
beautiful.
cat.
She's a beautiful cat. No, she's just wandering around. She does this weird fucking shit. Like, when I get out of the shower, she wants to run into the cubicle and lick up the water, which I call drinking soup. So weird. And so sometimes, like, if I'm just like, you know, sitting on the toilet or something, Mimsy comes into the bathroom and she stares meaningfully at the shower cubicle. I'm like, I'm not in the shower. I'm not in the shower. And she's looking at me saying,
She probably wants you to run the water to get some fresh running water to drink.
Yeah, I have, because she does that shit, I have a jug that I keep filled for her, that she can just lick water out of. And after she's drunk a bit down, she has to stick her whole head in the jug, which honestly is really comical. But then I normally refill the jug.
My previous cat would only drink from the kitchen tap.
No,
That's so neurotic.
And the cat,
what are you doing?
but the cat before him, she drank from the pool.
The pool,
Only from the pool?
Yeah,
chlorinated water.
yeah, and she lived to be 18.
Oh wow, Mimsy's probably about 15 or 16. We don't know how old she is. There she is, the cute cat. She is that rarest of things, a female ginger. Most gingers are male, apparently.
Okay.
She's the female ginger.
They used to say that all ginger cats were male. That's what they used to say, like back in the 50s or whatever. But then they found out actually there are female ones too.
Yeah, I suppose she's ginger and white, not pure ginger. But my first cat I remember as a kid was a male ginger. We called him Lord Ben. It was named after a racehorse, actually. But I think he eventually
aristocrats. Cats are aristocrats. They need titles and honorifics.
That's fair. And they're all linked to the Bast, the Egyptian goddess.
Yes. That's royalty.
It is. Particularly because I'm into the Sandman comics.
And they know it.
And Bast is in
know
the comics. Oh my God. I stopped patting her. It's just off camera. I just stopped patting her and she just head-butted my arm. So I pat her. She's so...
Please.
All right, I've been summoned.
Lee's been
Right.
summoned.
All right, good night, beautiful people. Love you all.
Good night, Lee.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, I think Shannon was asking if he wanted, if you could repost the link to the live stream. I
Okay,
think that was-
Shannon, I'll post it to Facebook. Shannon, just a second. This is slightly complicated because StreamYard won't talk to Facebook directly, or Facebook won't talk to StreamYard directly. So I have to go into Facebook and post the link, which I just did. So, Shannon, there's an opening because I can have fucking Mimsy's just headbutting me as I.
Aw.
We used to have a dog my parents used to have a dog called Mindy, and she was very insistent on making sure that you were patting her at all times and would headbutt your hand if you stopped for a moment.
Dogs in particular love that, yes. But Mimsy is a really old sook. She's 15 or 16. We don't actually know how old she is, but
She's beautiful.
she is. Oh, Grasshopper, here we go.
Hey guys.
Shannon, hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Dude, I am so much better now that I've actually been able to get in on one of these. I've been wanting to do this for ages.
Oh, fucking awesome, man. What's behind you? Where are you set up for your thing?
This is my home garage.
Looks like a shed.
It looks like a shed, yeah.
Yeah, this is my home garage, and behind me are basically plastic containers that you get from IKEA type thing, full of motherboards, CPUs, video cards, hard drives,
Nice.
laptops, etc. I build, upgrade, repair PCs. And actually, I'll just do a very quick little show and tell because I'm very happy with how my little beastie just recently turned out.
Ooh,
that
nice.
I just finished doing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's sexy. That is sexy. Look,
Yeah.
I want to. Oh, okay. You've got. For a second, I was going to make Grasshopper full screen, but yeah, that's pretty sexy.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's the that's entirely too much money invested into a computer.
My accountant called me today and said, "Man, the government is just offering like tax write-offs for up to $150,000. If there's anything you want to spend money on, like do it now, and you get this massive tax write-off." So I think I'm going to work with. Okay. I have had cocktails. Oh my God, Charlie, you're so good. Abigail. Abigail's going to
That
be.
wasn't me.
Wasn't it? Who was it? Nettie. See, I'm just fucking drunk, man. I have drunk too many. I'm fucking.
My wife's an interpreter for the deaf, and we just got told by her accountant, 30th is coming up. If there's any large expenditures, do it now. So she just bought herself a new car.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's kind of what my accountant was hinting. Do you want to buy a car? And I go, no, I don't want to buy a car. But I think I need to talk to Abigail and fucking buy some really expensive computer components. And
just a reminder, the 30th is Tuesday.
yeah, exactly. I think that's why my accountant called me and said, you get a big tax write-off if you buy something in the next couple of days. So
And I heard a joke that I've just got to tell you because I think that you'll absolutely love it.
Go for it.
Where does an MRA get his water from?
Okay, where does an MRA get his
I think
water?
I know.
Well, actually.
From a well. Yes. I think Charlie knew that one. Oh my God.
I heard. I remember hearing that one as where does a mansplainer get his water from?
Yeah.
Much the same.
Same difference.
Hello
Yeah.
to Kate, love the Rage Against the Machine quote earlier. Kirsten, see that you're sewing. Love that. Wish I could do it. And Nettie, love your name.
This is a skill that I picked up by watching a couple of YouTube tutorials.
Nice.
I have really bad arthritis in my left hand, and I've got no chance.
Like really, really bad RSI in my shoulder, and
Oh,
this
that
is in the wrists, so it doesn't bother my shoulder. Whereas, like, I was taught to knit by my grandparents, and I was so devastated that I couldn't knit, but I can crochet, and that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I was very happy with the fact that I learnt how to sew. I've been putting patches on this vest for a little while now, just by YouTube, and I've achieved more because I failed home economics in grade 8. I couldn't sew a fucking thing. I was terrible. And as it turns out, just a bit of time and a bit of patience and a teacher who's not a fuckwit will definitely teach you some skills.
Yeah.
My mum's a home ec teacher, and I've learnt 90% of everything that I know from YouTube, and absolutely mostly because my mother and I are way too different as people.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Guys, I think I'm fading fast. I'm going to have to say goodbye. Good night.
There.
Good
I've
night,
got
man.
to
See you, Nettie.
say goodbye soon.
Bye.
Almost finished a cocktail. That's okay.
So
Angry, I'm
what's
going to show you something. I got
Wait,
a gift ale.
Ooh, what's that?
Bilson
Strawberry gin.
Strawberry gin.
It's my first gift as a ginfluencer.
Oh, nice. Nice. A strawberry.
Is that the Raid Shadow Realms of the gin world? That's
Oh man, I've been playing the entirely.
That's way too like gaming geeky for me to really understand the context of the.
I see a lot of YouTubers who have offered advertisement deals with Raid Shadow Legends, and it's always like we'll give you a free access to this if you'll promote us.
I was looking at
Ginfluencing is mostly free gin, which is fine by me.
We were trying to set up a raid for a new client the other day, and my workmate, he was like, so we're going to be going for a raid 1 or a raid 2 or a raid 3 or whatever, and I just looked at him dead in the eyes and I went, I was thinking about Raid Shadow Legends. What are you thinking?
Herman Lee from Dragon Force, if you remember that band who did the Through the Fire and the Flames, really
Guitar Hero
huge
3,
sort of, and he got offered a lot of money to apparently advertise Raid Shadow Legends, and he's been streaming a lot lately, and it's been great. I love all the reactions that he's been doing to. There's something called Dragon Force Loves Fire, and it's just a supercut of every time the word fire or flame or something like that has been used in a Dragon Force song. It's hilarious.
So what are you drinking, Charlie? Are you drinking a cocktail as well, or is that just iced tea?
This muscat and tonic and limes.
Muscat, tonic, and lime. Sounds pretty good. I think I mispronounced 2 of those 3 words.
Well, what I'm drinking is from Strawberry Fields.
Ugh. Okay, I finished that. Jesus, I'm fucking gone. I'm having
go to midnight angry. You giving up?
Go to midnight.
It's Friday.
Okay, because it's only 10 past 11 now. I bet I will be horrified at how quickly it gets to midnight. There's just it always happens. Like Friday night is like, okay, for some reason I just did a 4.5-hour live stream and I don't even remember it, and it's just like, okay, cool. I don't know. Okay.
I have a friend, whenever I visit him in Bundaberg, we always stay up late drinking, and it's always I'm the bad influence on him to the wife, even though he has his own free will. I'm not pressuring him to do anything, but I am always the bad influence.
That's
I maintain the reason why my wife agreed to marry me was because I don't drink, and therefore I could be the designated driver every time we go to a party.
That's fair.
I married a man who didn't drink, and then he started drinking, and this is.
No, I'm a complete teetotaler. Two cocktails, and I'm 7 sheets to the wind. So, and I can make plenty enough of a jackass out of myself when I'm sober. I really don't need alcohol's help.
That was the advice I grew up with from my grandma. Like, I'm silly enough sober. I don't need to drink. But
yeah, no. So my wife is really funny. Like when she starts drinking, she'll get really tired, and so if it's in the first couple of hours, she'll have a few drinks and that's it. She'll go to bed. But if she drinks beyond that point and actually gets proper drunk, then she becomes that really loud, really boisterous. Like if somebody's done something wrong, she'll do the loud mothering. Don't do it that way. No, you're going to hurt things. And it's absolutely hilarious every time that she does that, because when she's sober, she has the maternal instincts of a rock.
I have a friend who is what I would describe as a two-pot screamer. He's a very big lightweight, and he started brewing his own beer recently. So how things changed over time.
I had a fun thing a few years ago. It was quite a few years ago. I know one of my older brothers, was running a fruit and veg shop in Dubbo, my hometown. I went back to Dubbo for Christmas, and he had tried to, I don't know, increase the horizons of the people from Dubbo. He got a hold of a bunch of blood orange, and he thought they'll love it, and no one bought it. And he's like, "You're all fucking Philistines." So he juiced all the blood orange that no one bought and froze it in ice cube trays. And a weird thing that happens, a lot of the people, the distributors and the wholesalers who were selling him things, people would go like, "Oh, I imported these spirits or these liqueurs. Do you want to try these?" And so he had all these super weird spirits and liqueurs. And so at Christmas, I was with him, and he'd made a bunch of ice cubes out of blood orange juice. And we were doing these drinks that was a cube of frozen blood orange juice with some weird spirit or liqueur poured over it that was slowly melting the blood orange. And we were drinking, and we got really fucking rat-assed drinking.
That sounds delicious with the blood orange leaking into the drink.
Yeah, but blood orange juice as ice cubes, that would work with lemonade, with soda water. If you're a teetotaler, just putting some like lemonade, one of these blood orange ice cubes, and some bitters would be a fucking great drink. Whereas
I'd put that again. That sounds good.
We were putting like vodka on it, but I'm a big fan of basically any non-alcoholic beverage with a bit of fruit juice and a bit of bitters. It just elevates. Even like bog standard stuff like Pepsi Max. I drink Pepsi Max all the time. Pepsi Max with a squirt of lime juice or lemon juice and a splash of bitters just elevates the drink. So while I'm absolutely fucking asshole on the number of cocktails I've had tonight, I enjoy non-alcoholic drinks as well. So whenever someone says, "Oh, I don't drink alcohol," I'm like, "Oh, cool. Don't drink alcohol. Man, just get your drink, put a spritz of fresh juice in it, put a splash of bitters in it, and you've elevated your everyday drink to something different." Bitters is amazing. Fresh fruit juice is amazing.
And some fresh herbs.
Herbs, yes.
Like a sprig of rosemary or mint or bruised basil. Fresh basil is my favorite.
Mrs. Angry's been harvesting stuff from her fruit garden. This is some fresh mint. I've got to do something with this. That looks like coriander. It looks like fresh coriander and fresh mint that she's gathered up that I've got to do something with.
This here is, I make my own iced tea. This is a strawberry iced tea that I make.
Ooh, nice.
And, yeah, I buy the Calypso drinks every now and again and just use that as a drink container as opposed to a cup because it's just easier. Yeah. But when I make a peach iced tea, nothing is better than grabbing a few sprigs of mint, just chopping them up nice and fine with a knife, dropping it in there, shaking it up, let it steep for a couple of minutes. It just gives this lovely flavor over the top of the peach iced tea. It's really, really good. So, yeah, you're right on the money there, Charlie, 100%.
Yeah. And in fact, the stuff I'm kind of obsessed with at the moment, milk clarified cocktails, it doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage that you milk clarify, like a tea-based beverage, tea and a bit of citrus, and you add it to milk, and the citrus will curdle the milk, and then you strain it through a filter, and you get this really fucking... So even just tea with citrus, milk clarified, would become this whole new thing, and put it on ice. Like, so it's a really interesting variation on iced tea. I mean, there's always heaps of booze in my milk clarified drinks, but there doesn't have to be booze in it. You just do like tea and some citrus and some herbs and spices, whatever flavors you want, so long as there's an acid content, so like some citrus juice, and you add it to milk, and then you strain it, and you'll end up with this really fucking cool clarified drink. Put that on ice, and you have this really amazing drink.
It sounds sort of like the best drink for like a stinking hot summer's day when you sit down in the shade finally.
Oh, perfect summer drink. And I think we're all in Australia, so we're in the middle of fucking but it's a really summer
you're
drink.
down in Victoria, so it's not too bad for you, is it?
It's so cold.
Yeah, we are getting. Where's hey Mimsy? I went to reach for my phone, and Mimsy's between me and my so I had to pat her. Ooh.
Yeah, no, when you put your hands forward like that, you must pet the kitty. This is the rules. If my kitten,
AZ's apologising that his connection crapped out. When
you've got a message or two from me, Angry. Ignore that.
About 20 minutes ago, Mrs. Angry asked me if I'm going to bed, so I was like, ooh.
One more positive thing.
Maybe I should. Okay.
Hello, Charlie's kitty.
I didn't even notice that my phone was dinging. Now I don't even know why did I pick my phone up? Well, it's like,
To look at the temperature.
Thank you, Kirsten.
I might have had 4 double martinis, but I still know what I'm doing.
Kirsten's in control. Yeah, the next couple of days in Melbourne are only like 13 or 14 Celsius for the top. And oh my God, the lows are really fucking low. Like overnight, 3 degrees Celsius.
I live in rural New South Wales. And
okay. So, Grasshopper, I grew up in rural New South Wales. No, winter in New South Wales in the country areas is fucking cold.
Yeah, I'm like stuck out in my garage, as you can plainly see. Unfortunately, no AC out here.
Oh, dude, you're suffering for this. It's cool.
Hang on. Let me see. Where's the weather app? It's here somewhere. I know it is. There it is.
We had a top of 21 today in Brisbane and a bottom of 9. Apparently, we're getting later.
Jeez.
So our bottoms are always your tops compared to Victoria and probably northern New South Wales as well, which sounds a lot dirtier than it actually is. But
no, it's down to 9 degrees out here at the moment, and I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So we used to live in a building that was originally like a bond store, so it had like walls that were this thick, and we had no idea what the outside temperature is. We moved apartments, and the walls in this apartment are made of paper or some sort of paper-like product, because outside is what it is inside, and it's cold. Although it did prompt my husband to buy me some new slippers. So that was nice.
That's fair. I just noticed in the chat it's saying you can tolerate 40 below zero if it's dry. It's humidity that makes it unbearable. That's an admirable attitude, dude, but I'm not sure I'm quite that sanguine. Safa's at 3 Celsius. It's about 9 or 10 Celsius in Melbourne.
Yeah, I think it's about 9.
It's 10 degrees here.
David's saying it's 1 in Tasmania, and that sounds accurate.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
I
No,
I thought it is here. I have to look it up.
Are you in Australia, Charlie? Because you've got a bit of an accent there.
Harvey Bay.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it says 11.
Yeah. No, we've got some cold nights coming
Which
up.
for me is
Days are kind of okay.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in Bundaberg, so we occasionally had holidays to Harvey Bay. But I know a couple of people who grew up there as well. So.
I've worked there. That's about it.
I've never been there.
Yeah, my uncle, auntie, my cousins used to live in Bagara, so I went there once as a kid.
Bagara's like 30 minutes away from where I grew up as well, and so yeah, like I used to do like nippers and surf lifesaving kind of stuff when I was vaguely approaching anything fit, which I'm not anymore.
I'm from Brisbane originally, though.
Oh yeah, that's where I am now.
One of my lecturers is from Queensland originally.
Your lecturer, did you say? Sorry, Lee?
Yeah, my lecturer and tutor.
You know, I've worked up in Queensland. My 3 sisters live up in Queensland. My mother lives up in Queensland. I'll go up there and visit, but I could never live up there. It's nothing against Queensland in and of itself. It's to give you an idea of the kind of people that I met up in Queensland. This is the one that still absolutely does my head in to this day. My mum lives in a place called Hivesville. Now, to get to Hivesville, you got to go to Brisbane and then drive about another 4.5 hours inland. So this is remote type area. And
proper central, south, yeah.
Yeah, the middle of no and where. And my mum was like, she bought her block of land, for instance, for $7,000, and we're talking a 1/4 acre block. Like, this is how far away from everything it is. Her next door neighbor, about 3 doors down from where she lives, he got his house built, and the cost of getting himself hooked up to mains electricity was a bit too much. It was cheaper to get renewables hooked up onto his house. So he's got a roof full of solar panels, and underneath his house is a bunch of batteries. And, he's on dam water and all of these sorts of different things, 100% off the grid. And he was over at my mum's place and he was telling us about how great it is that he doesn't have to pay for electricity bills anymore. And he could still run his air conditioner during the night on a hot summer's night, et cetera, and it's all great. We're like, oh, yeah, no, that sounds great. And then, as happens at some gatherings, the discussion turned to politics. And this guy turns out that he is a massive, gigantic Tony Abbott fan, Liberal fan, because the Greens and the lefties and those idiots, they just want to make us go on to renewable energies, and renewable energies are never going to be able to power the earth and all of this sort of shit. It's like, dude, are you, like, your fucking house runs on the stuff that you're screaming about right now. And that cognitive dissonance just seems to be pervasive throughout all of Queensland. So I could never.
I said it before. It's Queensland disease. It melts the brain.
I think so. Yeah.
I got a brother. And
you're still muted, mate.
Yeah.
Pete, you're still muted, mate.
What?
I will say though, I am unmuted now. It's all good. Yes. That I am a bit of a stickler for what I call Southern chauvinism, in that there is a little bit of an attitude that thinks that everything horrible in Australia starts at the New South Wales border and goes up. And I will say, and like, I can't deny that there are fucked reactionary attitudes, because I grew up in Bundaberg, and Bundaberg's like filled with fucking racist and horrible fucking people. But at the same time, the most active neo-Nazis in all of Australia are in Melbourne. And like, it is important to point out sometimes that like those sort of fucked attitudes are not unique to Queensland. And that there are some really fucked up people all throughout the country. And Queensland as well. I will point out they had the first local council election of someone who was a member of the Communist Party as well. And that there is some really great radical politics that exists in Queensland, but it gets overshadowed because Pauline Hanson's also from here as well.
Yeah.
And Bob Catter.
Yeah, I had this pleasure of meeting Pauline Hanson face to face once. That was let's just say
she's fucked. She's totally fucked. But speaking of Tony Abbott, I do have this amazing.
Yes.
Because that dude,
Astrolabe is a fucking hero, is what I will say.
Didn't Tony Abbott say he was going to show
I love how people were like, "Oh, did you do that because if you use on same-sex marriage or anything like that?" It's like, no, it was Tony Abbott, and I just wanted to nut the cunt.
Astrolabe is a fucking national treasure, and I will not hear otherwise. He's a fucking legend for doing that.
that was a weird and funny event.
Oh man. If there was anybody in this world more deserving of a headbutt than Tony Abbott, the only other one is going to be Andrew Bolt. I would say Miranda Devine, but I never endorse violence towards women. But Andrew Bolt, no, that guy needs more than a bloody headbutt. He needs a flaming headbutt to the face.
I was very surprised
because just this week he's just been saying.
You go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, fucking Bolt this week. You know why Victoria's got COVID cases? Multiculturalism.
Oh my
multiculturalism and BLM protests. It's all about the BLM protests with that moron. It's god damn.
Did you see the video where he got glitter bombed?
I know, that sounds good.
At what point
it's kind of...
Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, when he got glitter bombed, I was a little bit surprised. For someone who is as kind of old and probably not quite as in shape as he is, he does throw a surprisingly agile punch. And it's just like, it's fucking glitter, though. And you're overreacting completely. But he is such a giant... Yeah, he's such a giant piece of shit. I get so angry sometimes when I think about, like, Andrew Bolt not only has a column, but it literally took Alan Jones spreading a bullshit conspiracy theory about COVID, like 10 years after he started a fucking race riot, to finally get kind of disowned. But he's going to have a show on Sky News because that's this fucking country. That's like,
but who even watches Sky News?
Fucking old people with cable who are afraid of everything.
No, true story. Sorry, you go ahead, Lee, and then I'll tell mine.
I would rather throw my TV out the window than watch Sky News.
Amen to that.
Or any of that media because they're so negative.
No, where I live, across the road from me, I live in an incredibly conservative area of New South Wales, to the point that the people that live across the road from me love doing nothing more than to piss off all of their neighbours, broadcasting Sky News on a projection thing, and they set up a gigantic sheet out on their front yard and whatnot and blast it through their speakers. Although it is great, really upsetting them when you get all of your friends to come over to your place, all of them who own four-wheel drives, with gigantic fuck-off light bars, and point the four-wheel drives directly at their front yard and turn them on full beam. They will get really upset really quickly, and it was absolutely great.
Oh my god.
That is chef's kiss good. That is chef's kiss good.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's...
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, something really positive. I sent Justin Trudeau a connection request on LinkedIn, and he accepted it.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Justin Trudeau, I'd like you to join my LinkedIn network.
Yeah.
Can I just say, can we get Jacinda Ardern over here to run the country for a while?
God, I wish. Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
Cool, but I've just got to really, like, I was one of the biggest fans of Julia Gillard. I honestly believe that history will show her to be the most effective and best PMs that we've ever had. But
I've
I've got a real soft spot in my heart for Jacinda. I think that she's done a fantastic job. And I've got relatives that live over in NZ, and they've got nothing to praise for her as well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Grasshopper. Julia Gillard led a minority government that was more effective, that got more legislation passed than Tony Abbott's majority government. She was more effective as a minority government leader than Tony Abbott was as a majority government leader.
I would say that's just because she actually exists as a human being, whereas Tony Abbott exists as some sort of cancerous growth on the world.
That's fair.
Yeah, not that I'm bitter. Not that I'm bitter.
No, that's a calm, rational approach.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm unfortunately one of the very few people who's probably
Tony Abbott. That is calm.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the people who's probably like way to the left on this as well, because my biggest memory of Julia Gillard is unfortunately when she gave that speech about Tony Abbott and misogyny was also the same day that she enacted one of the biggest cuts to single parents payments in Australian history. And I'm pretty definitely in comparison to Liberal governments, a lot better. But at the same time, I am generally pretty critical of Labor governments as well.
Yeah.
Because that was really unbelievable to me. Just like single parents, single mothers who rely on that payment and having it cut is just, it makes me very angry.
We definitely need to keep up the critical thinking no matter who's in power. Like, I'm very left-leaning, but even if Labor's in power, I'm still going to be very critical of what they do. But to say that they're just as bad as Liberal, that's where whenever somebody turns around, it doesn't matter who's in power, they're just as bad as one another, that's when I actually start to get the legitimate shits. Because
me too.
To say that Shorten or Rudd or Gillard are going to destroy this country the way that Scummo, Abbott, and Turnbull have, you've got to have rocks in your fucking head to honestly believe that.
I think the distinction that I would essentially make is that, while I definitely recognize that, between the two in terms of choice, Labor do the least harm, but at the same time, they represent the same class interests as well. And that there is a real problem in terms of mainstream Labor policy. Because the biggest thing that I'm on at the moment, because we have refugees who are being detained at Kangaroo Point at the moment. And it's very important to sort of underline and highlight that offshore detention and policies like that were very consistent throughout Labor governments as well. And that I think that definitely the Liberals are worse, but in terms of who actually serves the interests of the public as a whole, I think the Labor Party definitely they serve similar interests to the LNP.
I just feel the need just to come in as devil's advocate just for 1 second on that one point, if I may. The Labor government with their treatment of the refugees and whatnot is absolutely abhorrent. I'm never going to try and defend that. But I do also know that any changes that they have attempted to make where refugees are concerned, either being held in offshore detention, trying to get the medical attention, all of these sorts of different things, the sorts of backlash that they cop, not just from the crossbench, but also from the media, every time that they make any type of step that is, treating refugees like actual human beings, they get absolutely crucified in every mainstream way that it is possible to be crucified. So they're very cautious about it because it will actually hurt any future political ideals that they try to get through in regards to not just refugees, but other areas as well.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that point of view in the sense of you cannot allow your own principles, particularly when it comes to just respecting basic international human rights law in favor of electability. It's they need to grow a spine when it comes to things like that. And it's not really, and the thing is that I'm very critical of the Labor Party, and there's a book I'd really recommend for people as well by Elizabeth Humphreys. It's called How Labor Built Neoliberalism. And it goes into great detail about the Accord and the type of deal that Labor struck with the business class as a whole. And essentially going back into the history of the Labor Party as well, it has always been this kind of forward idea of you have to limit migration to make sure that wages aren't affected. And that history goes back a very long way. And I think you need to be really critical about the policy in which they enact, because it is really detrimentally harmful to the labour movement as a whole and to issues like refugees and things like that. But I recognise that I'm always the furthest to the left on that issue, and that
Sorry, Angry, I know that you're a bit drunk, but could I ask your opinion on this?
I am a bit, mate, yes.
Could I ask your opinion on this?
I basically agree with both of you in that Labor is the preferable option, but I'm a big believer in holding the blowtorch to Labor and saying, like, fuck you, you aren't doing enough on this issue or that issue or that. I don't even bother applying any sort of pressure to the LNP because they're fucking garbage. But my disappointment in Labor just makes me, I guess, want to apply more pressure to them. They've failed quite badly on some of the issues on treatment of asylum seekers and refugees, and a whole spectrum of other things. But yeah, I am critical of the Labor Party. I mean, in terms of the two major parties, I think they're the obvious choice for governing because the LNP fucking suck balls. But I'm very into it, keeping them accountable. Kirsten, I feel like you're waving for attention there.
I'm not. I'm pulling my string.
Yeah, you're pulling your fucking See,
Go ahead, Charlie.
Luke Morfitt mentioned welfare, which got me riled up a little bit because the cashless debit card trial that was supposed to finish by the end of this month, but they've extended it to December because they say it's working.
The cashless debit card.
I don't know.
Who is it working for? It is garbage.
No, it's working for the Liberals.
It's not fucking working for me.
No, the Liberals have got the biggest fucking hard on in the world for this cashless debit card because the supermarkets and whatnot that you're allowed to use this fucking piece of shit card at, they like it's not that they've got direct interests in it, but they've got some sort of background type of interests in these companies. And the better they're doing, the better that these companies. Oh, hello, Kitty. Thanks for completely destroying my thought process there.
No, I could go on. I could go on at length about welfare policy and things like that. It's definitely very clear that the Liberal Party, it's just like, it's so fucking bent ideologically. And like the cashless debit card as well, I need to remind people as well that it comes from the Northern Territory intervention. That is the origins of where it started. And that's fucking racist policy, which like I will, as a side note, Labor carried it on as well. But it like, in terms of just like, there should, like, there's a whole thing in terms of the study of conditionality on welfare, and the more conditions that you place on welfare in terms of producing productive outcomes for people, it is the inverse. The more you place conditions on your ability to access money, the less likely you are to achieve a positive outcome. And it's been proven for fucking ever that it doesn't work. And it's just so infuriating, the complete control and like the robbing of autonomy from people how to spend their own fucking money that is below the fucking poverty line before COVID started for over 26 years, in which people have to make really hard decisions about how they're going to spend that money. And they're talking about fucking making a giant slash to that before things are going to return to normal. Welfare policy is my bugaboo, and I will rant about it for hours, so I'll let someone else take over before I tell everyone to burn fucking Centrelinks to the ground.
My goddaughter just turned 22 years old, and she, from the age of 18 until the age of 21, she was working pretty steadily for various places. And COVID hit. She works in hospitality. COVID hit, no work. So she had to apply for Centrelink benefits. And the first two payments that she got before the increase came through for the fortnight, I think it was $530 for the fortnight. In Sydney, you're going to be paying more than that in rent per fucking week. Yeah. And you hear these bloody assholes out there that are proponents for this cashless debit card saying that those who are on Centrelink benefits are living the high life. They're, they don't need to work because they've got so much money and all of this sort of stuff. How? Oh, God. I want all of these people that scream that the cashless debit card is a necessary thing because those who are unemployed are living the high life. I want their income stripped away from them. I want them to rent and I want them to be on that amount of money per fortnight. And let them do that for 1 year. Just 1 year. That's all I ask. And see how well they can do.
When I was I got Centrelink, and after I'd paid my rent and $30 on my phone bill, I had $22 in order to eat for a fortnight.
Yeah, and you were apparently living the high life. Like,
how is that high life? I had to make the decision about whether or not I was going to spend $10 on Goon or $10 on Goon and then $12 on food.
Well, let's face it. If you've got that little money to last you through the fortnight, the only thing that's going to make it tolerable is a couple of boxes of Goon.
Yeah, Charlie, I feel like you had some personal experience on that too.
Yeah, I'm on the.
You're on News.
I'm on the Indue cashless debit card trial, and it's a pain in the ass. Because like the website, because you have to go on to like make a transfer to pay your rent and shit, and like it doesn't even work half the time.
Yeah. There's been multiple reports about how it doesn't work.
Yeah, I went in and got my limit set based on my rent and all that, and then sometimes I try to like make my transfer and it'll just say, oh, you've exceeded your limit or whatever, which I know I haven't, but it says it anyway.
Sorry, it's been something for a while there, mate. You go ahead.
There's only one word I can give you for that. It's called apathy. The government have apathy. They're going, we're not affected, so we don't care.
No, it's not apathy from the Liberal government, mate. No, like I said earlier,
contempt.
It's malice. It's straight up fucking malice. It is ideologically motivated in terms of we think that people who are out of work are lesser human beings and we want to fucking punish them for it. And that's exactly what the whole like mutual obligation scheme is all about. Where you go into these places with people who barely have a fucking high school certificate and they tell you how you should best apply for work. They have nothing but contempt for people.
A really quick point on that one. I once got hired to network up one of those new job network fucking agencies called Max Employment. I don't care if I name them.
Oh, no.
They can sue me. I don't give a shit. They really are. So I go in there to set up the network for this place. Now, I've got a kind of, like, I earn enough money to cover my bills, right? I'm not stinking rich, but I'm not drowning in debt. So I'm happy. I'm good. But apparently because of my position where I've worked my way up to where I am, that I'm supposed to look down on people like Charlie, like my goddaughter, like others who are unemployed for whatever reason. I don't give a damn what their reason is. I'm never going to look down on another person. Anyway, I go into this Max Employment. I'm setting up this, they were setting up at the time those touch screen things when you first walk in, where, you needed to say the reason for your visit and all of these sorts of different things. And I'm trying to set that up. This gentleman walked in. He had been working for the same company for 27 years, and the company went bankrupt. So he lost his job. But because he was in his late 40s, nobody was interested in looking sideways at him because of his age. And the only real experience or certifications I ever heard all of this was his forklift license and, years of experience of basically working inside of a warehouse. He was looking for another job like that. But at that time, nobody was really hiring because it was very close to the global financial crunch. And so, he was basically without work. This lady that was behind the desk is listening to this guy, like, literally pour his heart out. You can hear that the poor bastard is close to tears because the shithouse money that he was getting from Centrelink was barely enough to cover the bills. His wife had to pick up extra shifts, all of these sorts of different things, all the sub-story that you could think of. And the lady behind the desk is like, yeah, but have you ever thought about doing door-to-door sales? Or have you ever thought about doing telemarketing? Or, there's places out there where you could do brickies laborers work and all of these different things. And
I had a friend who's been a vegetarian for over like 5 to 10 years, and they offered her work in an abattoir. Like, that's how fucked these people are.
Yeah, my sister-in-law came out of university with a PhD in bioengineering, and they wanted her to take on a job doing checkouts at Woolworths.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we could keep doing this all night, but I think as Grasshopper pointed out last time he asked my opinion, I am really drunk, and I'm going to go to bed. I absolutely fucking love doing this with all of you. Having this whole Brady Bunch thing going on is awesome.
Angry Bunch.
I would love
The Angry
love
Bunch.
The Angry Bunch, yes, Charlie. So I'm going to try and do it more. I won't be on tomorrow night because I'll be doing date night with Mrs. Angry, but I'll probably be on Sunday night. So anyone who's up for jumping on camp, just fucking prod me, because if no one prods me, I'll just talk shit for 2 hours.
I'll need to message you on Facebook because for some reason you can never see my comments on YouTube. I don't know why.
It's fucking StreamYard, which is what I'm using to broadcast to both YouTube and Facebook, is having problems with Facebook. So
no, like for ages, whenever you were doing a live stream on YouTube, if I typed in comments, you could never see them.
Yeah, so we'll work on that. But look after yourselves, everyone.
It was really lovely to meet you all.
Yeah,
lovely to meet you. Yeah, that was good.
Hey,
good night.
You and I would love to sit down and have a chat with you. You sound like as if you and I would get along quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. That's nice.
So look after yourself, everyone. Have a good
Charlie,
weekend.
take a love. Try and keep your chin up there, darling.
Yes, chin up. Much love to everyone.
Being on that card has got to defy physics and both suck and blow. But be aware that not everybody in Australia is complete cunt. We actually we support you completely. You'll be fine, darling.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Take care, everyone.